Welcome to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, our terrible memories, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about.
Where am I?
I'm Mr. Jason Roscoe.
What happened?
With me here each and every single week, the Darth Vader to my Palpatine, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave. And I remembered during the intro what I was going to add to the soundboard, so I'm going to write that down while you're saying hello.
Hello, Jason.
How are you?
Our terrible memories are in full effect.
Yeah.
The best part is he's going to write it down, and then he's going to lose the piece of paper. He's
Probably.
like, I know I wrote that down.
Yeah.
It's just like one of our peace signs. Somehow it went fucking somewhere.
We had this like bad memory inception moment
Yes.
as we were getting ready for the show.
Well, what's really funny is like, so I'm typing away. I'm like in the chat. I'm typing while the music's going on. Because now the intro music has become part of like just once it starts playing, it's just, okay, that's in the background. I got time. Click, 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 click. And all of a sudden I'm like, what? Like, I literally had that moment. I had that moment of like, I should be ready to do something. Like, yeah, that's just where we're at right now.
Yeah, don't get old, ladies and gentlemen. It's not worth it. So, that being said, what are we talking about today,
I don't
Dave?
fucking know. Obviously, this is aren't we proving our points right now?
Yeah, just look at the notes, Dave. Just read what's on the teleprompter.
Let me read what's on the teleprompter. But first, no, wait. That's not.
Oh my God.
That's the wrong. I'm reading the wrong teleprompter.
What is wrong with you?
All right, we're talking about Andor.
Yes.
We're doing episode 7, 8, 9 of Andor.
Correct.
And yeah, we're going to continue the continuum of the continuation of Andor.
See.
3PO.
Yes. But before we do, we've got a ton of business to get to. So should we talk about Patreon first?
You should talk about Patreon.
All right.
What the fuck?
Are you okay?
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ. No, you know how sometimes you just see, like, I saw a text message pop up on my iPad, right? Out of the corner of my eye, and it said, "Pop singing fiddler is my favorite thing." Those words, that right there is like a snapshot into my fucking brain. Like, why are these words in that particular sequence? And then I went into it, and it's my daughter. She put in the previous text. I think Pop's making eggplant. She refers to her grandfather as Pop. Okay. So it was a continuation. But in seeing it, I'm like, what the fuck, Pop Fiddler? What the fuck are we talking? Anyway, god damn it. Patreon, go!
If you're enjoying the Sidebar Cantina's content, consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. For as little as $1 a month, you can support this podcast and help us make it possible to continue to bring you quality content week after week.
Allegedly.
High quality, as you're seeing right now. We'd like to give a huge shout out to our current patrons, David Schmuck, Brady Biglovin, my wonderful mother-in-law, Patricia Goodstein, Ivo G, Dragon Buddy, who's probably going to beat me in fantasy football this weekend. Damn it. Shotgun Mark, Wally Frogmore, Frank Kalevich, Tony Ferrari, Kristen Roscom, Frederick Martin, Don Solsky, Lord Helmet Fire, Catherine Rennick, Scott and Kim from the Use and Abuse podcast, who apparently don't watch Andor, Nicholas Schaefer, and Nick from Sweet Studios. If you'd like to consider becoming a supporter, you can find us at patreon.com/thesidebarcantina. Thank you again to all of our listeners and supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. You are the reason why we do this. Back to you, Dave.
Yeah, so I have some Red 5 headlines.
All right, what you got?
Lunar Girls top story. Set your alarms for 3:55 a.m. Eastern.
No,
when tonight's
I won't.
lunar eclipse will begin. Totality begins around 5:17 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time, because we're no longer in daylight time. It is Eastern Standard Time, and will last until sunrise. You will need to see the blood moon. Hang on, I said that wrong. Let me do it. Let me do this correctly. You will need to see the blood moon. Next,
all caps.
yes. Next total, the next total lunar eclipse in the States won't be until 2025. So, and I think the tough part is for us on the East Coast, it is going to be something that's going to be closer to the horizon. So, do your best to elevate your position as much as possible.
But when the moon is close to the horizon like that, that's when it appears bigger.
Yeah.
Because of that amplification effect,
Right.
which makes it look sweet.
Yeah. So, yeah, we have the lunar eclipse 3:55 a.m. I don't know why I would set my alarm for 3:55 though, if the totality begins at 5:17.
Well, I mean, mine starts at 4:20, or my alarm's set for 4:20, so I would just probably get up with my normal alarm and then just like immediately look outside and be like, oh, there it is.
Right. Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know.
It is cool. It is a little early though. I don't know if I'm going to be. I'm going to do my best to try and get up, but my fucking sleep schedule's been so off, and I'll talk about that later when I get to my week. But like a testicle, it will be hanging low.
A testicle?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, factually correct. Anyway, yeah, lunar eclipse.
We interrupt this broadcast with some breaking news. Okay. So today, Monday the 7th, we had some official Star Wars news.
Oh, really?
Not the comicbook.com, nor the
Right.
we got this covered,
Right.
or Screen Rant, or...
Those are all legitimate news sources, Jason.
Sure they are, Dave. But StarWars.com and all of Star Wars' official social media...
Like, what do they know?
They know that the Acolyte cast has been revealed, as the Acolyte has begun production.
The Acolyte.
Yes, so this is the one that it takes place during the High Republic era, the live-action show.
Right.
That, well, Dave, I mean, why don't we just read this description real quick before we talk about the cast?
The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. A former Padawan reunites with her Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces they confront are more sinister than they ever anticipated. The High Republic saw the Jedi Order at its prime, centuries prior to the events of Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. You can learn more about this era at StarWars.com's official hub for all things High Republic.
All right. So little bits about the Acolyte, and we got the full cast revealed. If you go to this article on StarWars.com, you got pictures of all the actors. I recognize two of them. Carrie-Anne Moss, obviously, everybody knows from the Matrix movie, the only Matrix movie that exists. The Matrix movie that came out in 1999. That's the only Matrix movie that exists.
Okay.
But yeah, Carrie-Anne Moss. And then the other guy, Dean Charles Chapman, he was one of the last kings in Game of Thrones. He was the little kid who became the king. Not the shitty one, but the one who took over after the shitty one.
Sure.
I don't recognize any of these other people. But I have an issue with Disney. Or with Lucasfilm, whoever put this nice little thing together, because I'm looking at this cast, I'm like, okay, random person, don't recognize. Ooh, Daphne Keane. Well, she's kind of cute. Google her name. Who is this? Oh, she was the little girl from Logan. She's actually 17 years old right now. It's like, fuck, come on. What they put the... Never mind. It's like do better with your advertising.
Don't trap Jason. Is
Yeah,
that what it
exactly.
is?
Come on.
God damn it. It's fucking honey traps. That's what it is. That's all it is. It's honey traps.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't recognize any of these people. I know this Amandla, not Amanda, Amandla.
Amandla Hug and Kiss?
Yeah, Amandla Hug and Kiss. She's like the main character,
Right.
but don't know jack squat about her.
Mambla Hug and Kiss.
Mambla Hug and Kiss, yes.
How much worse? How much worse can we put in this fucking
we are
name?
going down the rabbit hole.
Let's get her on the show. Hey, Mambla Hug and Kiss.
Now,
Welcome to the show.
before we get too excited about the series, I am going into this with some reservation. I'm going into this with my guard up. It sounds promising.
Right.
It sounds like it could be good, but from what I've heard of the head runner of this show, the showrunner, this Leslie Headland person,
Right.
apparently she's like this like far left, crazy, ultra feminist nut job. She's also a lesbian, but not like one of the like cute lesbians that we're about to talk to in Andor today. She looks more like John Goodman than she looks like these girls in the show. So
John Goodman. Now that's a fucking image right there.
yeah. So again,
Wow.
I'm going to be optimistic, but I'm also
Right.
going in with my guard up. That's all.
Fair enough. With your John Goodman guard up, I got you.
Yeah. So that's that. The Acolyte official announcement from
Yes.
from Lucasfilm, StarWars.com. So
I'm curious as to whether or not you're going to actually need to have some High Republic background to be into this at all.
there's no way they would do that.
Yeah, I would. I'm reckoning so.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like if you have some High Republic background, I wonder if it would.
Oh, I'm
Like,
sure. Yeah.
if people are into the High Republic, I'm wondering if they're like fucking just splooging all over this right now. Like, oh my god, these characters are gonna be the best ever.
I'm sure they'll drop some references for the people who have been reading the books and the comics, which is not me.
Right. It's like let's bring Yoda up again for fucking because reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't read the second High Republic book. It's on the shelf. I have it. I just haven't. I have time right now to do it. I just don't. It's not in the rotation.
Yeah.
I have other nonfiction stuff I want to read. Yeah, because I want to better myself. God damn it.
As you should.
So I'm a fucking I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on the High Republic before we move on, or the Acolyte?
No, I don't.
No, I don't. So we have a day in Star Wars.
Okay.
And this is something that we have talked about at least a couple times on the show.
All right.
We've retread the subject a multitude of times, but because it's our show, we're going to do what the fuck we do.
Right.
And also for some of our newer listeners, they may not have heard the story yet. Do you have any idea what we're about to talk about is? It's a 10-year anniversary.
What's today?
All right. Well, don't say anything because I'm just going to tell you because it's tomorrow, actually, November 8th, 2012, 10 years ago tomorrow. Angry Birds Star Wars is released.
Oh, shit. Yes.
So now some of you out there might be thinking like, well, okay, it was Angry Birds Star Wars, so who cares?
Oh, my God.
Oh, there's some stories.
That's right.
So many stories.
Yes. So this is, in fact, this coincides with the 10-year anniversary of Hurricane Sandy.
That's right.
Which Jason and I, again, longtime listeners of the show would know this. If you're new to the show, you may not know this. Jason and I, when we were in the same unit, we were deployed together to a hurricane shelter to, man this hurricane shelter during Hurricane Sandy. As much as it was a humanitarian effort and there's like, oh, wow, look, this is so good for, no, it was fucking horrific. It was a horrific shit show. There is a book in the works of my own writing, of all the fucking shenanigans, involved in this shelter deployment.
Yeah.
So it's some very interesting cast of characters in there.
Oh yeah, and we had minimal resources, minimal food. We were eating MREs for a while.
Yep, it was MREs until some things were exchanged for fucking hot meals with the army guys going out.
But we don't want to talk about that.
There was a single road going in and out of this thing where
there were trees everywhere, like down trees all over the place.
I had to fix fucking toilets nonstop.
We were everything. We were like Haymon.
Yeah.
I was a janitor and a cook and a
and
a firefighter.
Yeah, and we had to fix a boiler because it fucking snowed. Mm-hmm. It fucking snowed. 13 inches of snow.
Yeah, like a week or two after Sandy, while we were still manning the fucking thing.
Yep, we were still manning it with all the fucking strap hangers that just were mooching off the fucking government.
Yeah. But in the midst of all this, we also had shitty cell reception, except in one spot.
Yes.
AT&T Hill, as it was known.
Yes.
You'd climb up this hill and you'd get a cell phone signal.
Right.
And in the middle of all this, we'd been in the shelter for, 4 days at this point.
Right.
And Angry Birds Star Wars was released.
So we deployed to the shelter on the 28th of October.
Oh, fuck, it was that long.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah, and we went home the November 10th.
Okay.
So, or you got to go home a little bit sooner because you were going to redeploy to another shelter, but they didn't redeploy, and you guys got to go home a little bit earlier. Not much though.
Yeah.
And I went home on the 10th. out of fucking the Arthur Brisbane fucking shelter.
Right. But it was, it was a big occasion for us because we were Angry Birds fans. Obviously, we were Star Wars fans.
Yes.
So Angry Birds Star Wars got released in the middle of all this. So we hiked up to AT&T Hill, fucking like got our signal, like we're holding the phones up, like download, and we eventually got Angry Birds Star Wars that day, and it was a one bright spot in this otherwise black hole of despair.
My quote, and it's something that was written down, and I've made sure it carried through here.
I'm pretty sure I remember this quote too.
The actual quote was, Angry Birds Star Wars came out today. It's pretty much the closest thing I've had to an erection in 2 weeks.
Yep. So
that's that. Listen, the shelter experience was an odd chapter in our lives because there's just so much fucking shenanigans.
Yeah.
And you got to see the people at their, most vulnerable. And then you get to see people at their just absolute fucking worst.
Yeah.
Like, oh, these are how people are. These are how people like abandon their children to go and get drugs.
Yeah.
And because we were janitors and fucking plumbers and babysitters.
Oh yeah, babysitters. That was
because we were there for Halloween, so there was
that's right.
Yeah, we had
our own little Halloween night.
We had a little Halloween candy, and in the wing that Jason and I were responsible for, all the donations for clothing and stuff. We had we had
the thrift shop.
Yep, we had our own Goodwill store, and we had to fucking control the Goodwill store because people would go in there and it's
otherwise they would have just taken everything.
Yeah, they just got super grabby, and it was just the book will come out.
Yeah,
the book went from, this is how Dave deals with this situation in therapy, right? Write this book, and then it kind of turned into, I'll write about my whole career. Writing a book is hard, by the way. If anybody's tried it, like it's not fucking easy. So that's why it's taken, here we are 10 years later.
I can't believe it's been 10 years already.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, right?
Though at the same time, it does feel like a lifetime ago. So it's strange. But again, Angry Birds Star Wars.
Do you remember the? Were you there? I'm pretty sure you were still there when. This is just give you a little sneak peek of how fucked up it was. So we had generators, right? Because there's no power.
Mm-hmm.
So we had this generator that just a regular generator that was kind of powering some, pieces of emergency equipment, like the laptops we were checking people in with. We had a TV for the kids that were running, CPAP machine for one of the guys that were in our section, some very basic stuff. And we're supposed to get a generator that was supposed to plug into the whole fucking school to turn it on.
Yep.
Well, that generator showed up, and then there was they couldn't hook it up because there was not a union electrician to hook it up.
I remember that. It's like, you fuckers.
Right. So they're like, okay, well, we need another generator. So they brought another generator, and then they were dropping it off, and they're like, that guy was like, well, we're going to take this generator back. And we're like, no, you're not. He's like, yeah, we're going to take this one. We're like, no, you're not. See, this was going to happen. Mm-hmm. Like, because up on AT&T Hill was the water tower that was providing us all the fresh water, and it was just emptying out because there was no fucking pumps to fill it back up. There was no power for those pumps. So we were going to take one of those generators and take it up so we could fucking refill the fresh water tank, and still have the ability to fucking, have power and some modality in the school. We're like, no, that's staying here. Like, no, I have to take it back. We're like, listen, you can go ahead and leave without this, or we're going to take that Humvee and we're going to park it right here, and you're going to stay here with us. And he left the fucking thing, but it was an interesting confrontation.
Yeah. And we'll have to save the rest of this for another time, because we could talk about this for the whole show.
Yeah, we could. But yes, Angry Birds Star Wars. Wow. Yeah. 10 years ago today. It's
And
fucking.
it was a fun game too. You know, Angry Birds was already a very successful, fun,
Yeah.
simple game on the iPhone. And I guess other cell phones, if you had a different brand, why would you though?
Right.
And then Angry Birds Star Wars was just like, oh, well,
Yeah.
because we had just had Angry Birds Space the year before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Space came out first, and then Star Wars.
Then the Star Wars one, and they were like kind of like they were teasing it up too. It was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's coming out, and so we're like excited. And then getting up on AT&T Hill and being able to download.
Yeah, it was great.
It was something to look forward to.
Yep. So, do we want to get into our weeks?
Yes, we should.
All right. Well, first, as I do every week now, I have an
Excuse me.
addition to
The sacred Jedi.
Every time.
So the first one that I have is another one of the comic book series type Black Series figures. This is from the Crimson Empire comics. Karner Jax, guy who was a Crimson Trooper. The whole backstory. It's all. I'm pretty sure that's all legends now. But the Black Series figure is pretty sweet.
That is
And
sweet.
he was on sale on Amazon last week. So yoink. Yeah, I think he was under 20.
Wow.
So I'm like,
That's
I'll pick
which
him.
is unheard of for a fucking Black Series figure.
Yeah, and this one's pretty nice. And I've seen this one like in GameStops and stuff before, and I never picked it up because it was always like 30. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's got
that
the-
much for just like a Crimson Guard, but now under 20, it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's got the Legends tag on it with the back.
Yep. So, and in celebration,
It's a celebration.
it's a celebration of our main topic today. I got Sir Cassian Andor.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
Yes, and this is actually from... Oh, no, this is from Rogue One. So, also got it dirt cheap. But got me a Cassian, so hooray! And I already have a K2SO droid,
Nice.
or an Imperial Security droid. We don't know if it's K2SO, I guess.
I like the weapon system. Like it has the assemblage for the to make the sniper rifle. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, when he was going to
Yeah.
off Galen Erso.
Yep. No, I wasn't. You don't know. I didn't do it.
You had him in your sights. You had the weapon. Whatever.
But I didn't do it.
So, besides the Sacred Black Series, I am going home this week.
Yes, you are.
I'm going back to California, going back to Cali on
going back to Cali.
on Wednesday. So 2 days from now. I'm taking a couple days off work. I'm going out just for a very short period of time. And going out, gonna very quickly see my parents because I feel like I barely ever get to see them. And I actually have another very specific reason for going out. So I just want you all to remember that I said this. I'm not going to say why,
You alluded to it last week.
but it's
that
going
you
to be
did.
it's going to be relevant in the future of the show. Just remember, I'm going to California for a specific reason, and I'll talk about it in the future. But I'm not gonna blow my wad right now.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
And I just have one other thing for my week, and it's more just a discussion point and a message for all the people out there in YouTube land.
Right.
We have a thing going on tomorrow. It's an
Yeah.
It's an election.
Yes.
And I have a hard to swallow pill for everybody out there. So for everybody that like you're gonna go out and you're gonna vote, and so many people are just so invested in politics these days. You're gonna go out and your person's not gonna win, and you're either gonna go cry in the streets and scream to the sky, or you're gonna go invade the fucking Capitol because your person didn't win. And the hard to swallow pill that I have for everybody is here's what's actually gonna happen. So you're gonna go out and you're gonna vote. If your person wins or your person doesn't win, you know what's gonna happen the next day? You're gonna get up, you're gonna go to work, you're gonna come home, and you're gonna do whatever the fuck it is you do after work. Because at the end of the day, regardless of who wins, your life's not gonna change. Okay? We're not gonna all live under tyranny and oppression like you see a little bit in Andor. We're not gonna so many things. Nothing's gonna change. What really changed after 2020 and Biden won? So we got some shitty inflation. Is it Biden's fault? I'm sure some of it has something to do with the current administration, but how how has it really affected our lives? Honestly, these elections don't affect your lives, people. You get all invested in them. It's like, oh my God, we're all gonna die tomorrow if our party doesn't win. No, you're not. You're not gonna die tomorrow. We're all gonna survive. We're all gonna go on. Let it go. Just don't go invading the Capitol. Don't go crying in the streets. Just calm the fuck down and just go to work.
Yeah, but the most important thing is go vote.
Yeah, go still do your civic duty.
Yeah, go vote.
But at the end of the day, if your person doesn't win, it's not the end of the world. It really isn't.
Then be ready to fucking get a better candidate or prep that candidate better for the next time so that that person can get in.
Yeah. Oh, and if you're from South Jersey, vote for Bob Healy.
There you go.
Friend of ours who has been on this podcast.
Yes.
Who, as of Wednesday, may be a member of the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
Which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah.
It's very crazy.
Yeah.
A guy who fucking made us do hot yoga.
Yeah. I was texting him on Friday, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
He was responding to me. Yeah. I got a targeted ad on Facebook. It was an anti-Bob Healy
That's funny.
political ad, and I took a screenshot and I sent it to him. I'm like, man, they're getting desperate. He's like, yeah, according to them, I'm the worst person in the world. I'm like, yeah, well.
Yeah, it's really funny. In fact, as I was having a conversation about it today, I'm like, dude, it's so fucking, it's just politics, man. It's all propaganda. It's all the shit that they fucking taught us about in survival school. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my week. What about you?
So, I kind of had a very up and down week. So the Phillies were in the World Series this week. Mm-hmm. And as everyone knows at this point, they lost to the Astros in 6. They lost on Saturday. So I'm sad face that the Phillies lost. I would have liked for them to win, because who doesn't want their team to win? I'm trying desperately to be the like, oh, well, I'm just happy to be here type thing. Not easy to do as a fucking Philly fan.
I see a lot of people doing that on social media.
Well, here's the difference. Like, I think in 2009, when we lost the series to the Yankees, we had a team that was really good. Really, really good. Like, expectations of that team after the '08 World Series and winning it, we had like a dynasty team. And that team was expected to go and repeat. And when we went in '09, it was like we were unstoppable. And then the fucking Yankees beat us. Fuck. Which I'm still like worked up about. Like I dislike, like when A-Rod's sitting there talking about it, like, yeah, when I was here in '09 when we beat the Phillies, like, you know what? I want you to fall in an H tree and die. You fuck. You just piece of shit. Fucking anyway, yeah, that '09 series, and then in 2010 2011 that 2011 NLDS where Tony La Russa fucking worked over the umpires and changed Roy Halladay's strike zone. That was fucking just, that was it. That was the last time we were in the playoffs. Was after that. Ryan Howard blows out his Achilles, and that team was, it got broke up after that. And so this was our first year back in the playoffs. We have the pieces to be able to make this kind of run, and the fucking heart. This team has the heart to do it. So there's a lot to fucking build off of with that. It was a very improbable World Series run. And that's difficult to do in baseball. It really is.
Yeah.
Beating 100-win teams to get to the show. It's a big it's fucking hard, man.
Well, and they have a very small playoff pool also, right? Like, it's a very low number of teams that actually go to the playoffs.
Well, this year, the only reason the Phillies even made the series, the playoffs, is because they expanded it. So there was an extra wild card slot. So Phillies
heard that.
The Phillies made the wild card, that extra wild card slot. Mm-hmm. So the reason that they were able to even be in the playoffs is the benefit of what started this year was that extra wild card slot, and they took advantage. So it shows you, like, even though they were an 87-win team, and you had the Mets and the Braves with these 100-win teams.
So that's funny that you mentioned that too, because I recall thinking at one point during their run, like, fuck, it feels like they've been in a lot of rounds of the playoffs. And for baseball, they don't normally have this many rounds in the playoffs.
Because they went in and they beat They had to beat the Cardinals, in their wild card round, and they went in and did that. They swept them, and then they went into the NLDS against the Padres, and then took care of the business there. That's the game that I went to, was the NLDS.
Yeah.
And then the championship series was against. Wait, am I missing one?
Who beat the Dodgers? Is that the other conference?
No, the Dodgers was Dodgers was the pod. No.
Oh,
fuck, I'm all screwed up. Anyway, I'm in like a World Series forget mode. But I don't want to belabor it because this is not a sports podcast. But the reality is that my fucking team got 2 wins away from the World Series, and they really weren't given a shot to even make the playoffs. So, what's the matter?
I see somebody in the chat saying, never mind.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's fine. It's fine. The Eagles are still undefeated. So hooray. Before I move on from that, I don't have a pop this week.
What is this?
But go ahead and open that up.
What?
So I was before Saturday, I was hunting around on eBay. I was trying to get another Fanatic pop, like out of the box. They were still ridiculously expensive. I'm gonna keep it out of the box so you can tear it up.
All right. Well, I'm trying not to break the fucking.
Well, yeah, that would be bad too. Wow, the noise is awesome for a radio audience.
He told me to do it. Wow, my God, I almost just dropped it. Take it from me before I do something bad.
And this is a 2016 Fanatic bobblehead.
Yeah, so this was apparently Star Wars night.
Yep.
At the Phillies stadium.
Look
at that.
Looks like his head broke, but yeah. So it's cool. It's funny because my Uncle Fred had Jedi robes that he wore one year as a Halloween costume.
Nice.
Kind of reminds me of him. But yeah, I wanted something for the studio for like a Star Wars Phillies type thing. So I figured I'd get something for the studio, and it was cheap. It was I was really lowballed that bid and was surprised to get it.
Nice.
But so here's the thing. So the Phillies go to the World Series. The town was fucking electric.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I've talked about how Philadelphia is it's a football town. It always has been.
Sure.
I mean, I grew up in this town. I grew up in this environment. I was a child of the 700 level, and that means something to Philly fans, right? They know what that is. Even generationally, like young kids know what the vet was. Mm-hmm. They've heard about the 700 level. Like that's how I grew up. That's how my fandom started. And that, that level of fandom, like you put a lot of your passion into rooting for that fucking team. Like this is what you choose to put your, this is how I escape. You're gonna put your passion into these teams and for them to be good. And when they're not good, you fucking let them know about it. And that's what Philly is known for, right?
Yes.
And that's
your fan base is very well known for their.
And you got guys like, Mike Schmidt even said, the greatest third baseman ever play the game, Hall of Famer. We booed the shit out of him when he fucking sucked. Yeah, the dude had so many strikeouts. It was ridiculous.
The thing my dad always reminds me of is the fact that Philly fans booed Santa Claus.
That's not what happened. See, that's not what happened. There was probably booing, but there was also fucking snowballs. Because that happened in the 60s.
Yeah,
it happened in the 60s. The guy was drunk. It was a whole thing. And now I've definitely been involved in some things that like it's not that these things haven't happened. There was a jail in the vet. Like, and there was reasons for that because the fucking stadium was so big you couldn't see the fucking game. So you'd be in the 700 level and you're listening to the radio to follow the game. What are you going to do? You're going to get fucking drunk and you're going to get into fights. Yeah, it's what happens. So anyway, I say that because there was an article that the Philly Inquirer had put out. It was, on Instagram, and it was from like some fucking broad, right, who was like talking about how this is before the Phillies lost, talking about how over the, just like, I don't understand what the big deal is. There's this not life or death. This what is the big deal? And then like the article goes into how the sports fanaticism is ruining the city of Philadelphia, right?
That's ruining Philadelphia.
Yeah, not all the shootings in fucking North Philly.
The record number of carjackings, right, and murders, and not
that. It's us sports fans that fucking want to lose ourselves for a few hours into a fucking game from our doldrum of our lives, and when they're doing well, we want to fucking support them. That's what's ruining fucking Philadelphia, because this fucking twat can't fucking oh my God, this person's like, oh, look at how excited they are. And I can't even go to the restaurant anymore because they're all excited. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You're allowed to have your opinion. Go have it somewhere else. Mm-hmm. If you're upset with, the city puts up a fucking sign supporting this fucking city. That's what these sports teams are. It's a big P for the city of fucking Philadelphia to make Philadelphia look better than it really is, than the fucking dumpster fire it is right now. Mm-hmm. That's what you want. You want positive fucking things. You want the people to see the skyline and look at the city and go oh, wow, Philly looks like it's doing well. The sports team's doing well, everything else. Those are positive fucking things for the city that you apparently fucking live in, yet you want to be fucking shitty about I don't understand what the big deal is. Go fuck yourself. What are you passionate about, Karen? Are you passionate about fucking crocheting? How about I go sit in your fucking crochet club and go shit in the middle of the fucking pile I don't understand what the big deal is. No, it's just crocheting. I don't know what the fucking big deal is. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. You're talking about $1 billion fucking industry, right? $1 billion. You're not into it? Oh, and everyone else is. So let's just talk about the fact that you're upset by it because you're not into it. And everyone else is, so you're left out. And that's what it is. People that are left out, I'm being left out of this, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have this article in the Philly Inquirer about how this is ruining the city, right? Fuck you. It wasn't an op-ed piece either. This is this was an article.
Like somebody paid by that.
Don't. People, and I know there's listeners here, there's nothing wrong with being passionate about your fucking sports teams. Now, if you look and see it's excessive, greasing the polls for Philadelphia and all this other stuff. Yeah, we also have a fucking parade. We shut down the city on the fucking first of the year for the Mummers Parade. You know what the Mummers Parade is? It's a fucking bunch of drunk guys in costumes fucking, doing... This is what they prep for the whole year for the competition. Mm-hmm. But you don't have anything against that, right? You'll go and fucking do, look at the costumes. Oh, wow, the feathers. Wow, this is what, are you really drilling down to what this is a fucking about? No, you're not. But this is good for the fucking city too.
Yeah.
So shut your fucking pie hole, you stupid twat, and just try and enjoy the fact that the city is being looked on as something that's good is happening, as opposed to what's really happening. Yeah. With all the fucking crime that's going on. Yeah. Anyway, I look. I know we are a fairly. Yes. See, there you go.
I'm learning.
I think that we are, us particular, there's brands of nerds and geeks that have like, all right, heavy Star Wars fandom. Like, how can you get more into Star Wars and talking about it every week, right? Like, I think it's kind of hard to be more into it, but at the same time, also be passionate about sports teams and not, follow sports and have these multiple levels of things. It's like, when I was in high school, I was in the spring musical and still participated in sports too. So it's like, I think that's a rarity.
Sure.
Yeah. But there's so much derision in everything these days.
Yeah.
And you making a comment like that and then propagating it, it's a part of it.
Right. And I don't know what she was trying to accomplish with this either, because did she really think anybody's going to be like, oh, yeah, you're right. We should just fuck these sports teams.
But here's the thing. Like, there's, like, with anything else, like, it could be for politics. It could be for fucking the knitting club. It could be for anything else. It's like, oh, I 100% agree with this. This is totally ridiculous, and I don't understand it. Why are we greasing poles? I'm sure this is costing the city money. Like,
I'm pretty sure sports brings in a hell of a lot more money than it costs to fucking grease poles.
Yeah. Poles.
Pole.
Anyway. I'll end that rant by saying this. We saw Les Mis on Friday, Kathy and I.
Where'd you go?
In Philly.
Okay.
To the Kimmel Center.
Dodging bullets on the way?
No. It's the theater district. Look, I am stupid because I still feel relatively safe in my city. Mm-hmm. I don't know. My situational awareness is also very good. So
we were taught well.
Yes, we were. I know my infill and exfil really well. I know the area, like, especially for that particular area of the theater. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I've safety is relative, obviously, but always have a plan. But yeah, it was a great performance. It was really, really good. And talk about the dichotomy of like being super, super passionate and spend 10 minutes ranting about fucking sports, and then,
watching the play Les Mis.
Yeah, and watching an excellent performance of Les Mis.
Well, good.
It was really, really good. I highly recommend, if you're out there right now and you don't have to be near Broadway to fucking catch a good show. Like, this show travels. Like, this production of Les Mis, they're going to pack up and they're going to go somewhere else. I don't know where this troupe is going next, but they're going to take this excellent show and excellent cast. The cast was great. They had really cool effects in how they did some of the stuff on stage. Mm-hmm. The music was really good. The cast being and the singing and everything was really good, and the set pieces were really good. They did really. It's cool to watch kind of that interaction and how they're fucking blocking out some of the set stuff.
Yeah,
and yeah, it was phenomenal. So if you're in an area where you can see shows like this, go see them. Even if you're not a theater person, like, it'll blow you away how good people are at doing what they do.
Yeah. Like,
especially like the dudes that were fucking belting out some of these songs. And if you watch the movie Les Mis, right? A lot of people have seen the movie with fucking Hugh Jackman and Russell Crowe.
I saw the movie that had no singing in it, also the one with Liam Neeson and
But I will say that I think, again, I like to think myself as somewhat knowledgeable and stuff like that.
So yeah, finish your thought, and then I have something to say about Kristen.
I lost it.
Okay, well,
so, the Hugh Jackman movie, the Hugh Jackman version of it, I think was very good. The Hugh Jackman, Anne Hathaway.
Well, yeah, like, you put Anne Hathaway in anything, and I'll watch it. So.
It was, I think, very good. The singing was good. Russell Crowe, his acting was fine. The singing was, but everything else was really good. So if you're not going to be able to see it in a theater and you haven't given something like that a chance, I would say go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
So when Kristen and I first met, she was already big into Les Mis. She
Right.
had seen it before we met, I think. She had the soundtrack. She'd play the soundtrack all the time. I knew most of the songs from the thing before I ever fucking saw the play, before I ever saw either of the movies, because she would play it and listen to it over and over. So, and you know, I enjoyed it and all that. And eventually, I think we saw it together in Philly years and years ago.
She says 20 years ago, so.
But I don't think that was the time that we saw it together. I think we saw it together in Philly like 10, 15 years ago, something like that. I don't know. But then we saw the first movie together in the late 90s, the one that had no singing. Then we didn't see the new one together. I saw bits and pieces of it like on the road. But again, Anne Hathaway. Just put her in a movie and I'll watch it.
Yeah. So sad when she dies. It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
They cracked her out so bad in it. And
Yeah.
oh my God, this is terrible. Just kill her already.
Yeah, so I'm very familiar, and it's all because of Kristen, because
Right.
she was already huge into it when we first started dating, and you know, again, she was constantly listening to the soundtrack.
It's one of my favorite stage shows. I think Phantom still is probably the best.
Yeah.
In my mind, best of the ones that I've seen. But yeah, it was a great performance, and Kathy and I, we had a good time, and we survived the city. So
Excellent.
good on us.
All right, well done. So is that it?
Yeah, that wasn't
right.
enough. I could rant some more about some
No, we might
fucking idiocy.
lose some listeners if we talk about any more sports this week.
Sports Center, the place for sports.
So you ready to move to the main topic, or do you need a break?
I'm ready.
Ready to rumble. Anyway, so
No, he's from Philly.
oh, is he?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
just throwing that out there.
All right. Andor. So we're talking about the next 3 episodes because we've been doing these in threes. Now, leading up to this, 1, 2, and 3, and then 4, 5, and 6, they all kind of followed a single storyline.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
With the pinball and everything. Good times. Kids nowadays, they'll never understand. They'll never get it.
Yeah, some of the younger kids. I mean, our kids probably will because they were still.
Yeah. I think Rob watched some Sesame Street when he was
we
toddler.
still had Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Like for our kids, Sesame Street was still on.
Yeah. Well, yours are older than mine too. So
Oh, that's true.
Anyway, moving on. Andor. Yes.
Andor.
So we're talking about 7, 8, and 9 today. The episode's titled Announcement, Narkina 5, and Nobody's Listening. And before we even go
Nobody's listening.
into detail, overall, man, shit's getting dark in this fucking series. Like, this is such a departure from what we've been seeing in anything Star Wars up to this point.
Right.
And for me personally, I'm digging it, man. Like,
Yeah,
it's a far different tone, but I do enjoy it.
you're spoiler free right now. I can tell you that I've really surprised at myself at how much I'm enjoying the show, and I'm like, wow, when's I need it,
Yeah.
baby, I need it. I'll suck your dick, need it. That like just I want to see the next one. I love what they're doing. It's Star Wars. It's Star Wars, and there hasn't been a single motherfucking Jedi.
Isaac just popped in. He's like, I'm here. You can start the show now, which
Right.
perfect timing because we just got to the
Yeah,
main
we
topic.
just started talking about Andor. Hopefully you've seen it. Otherwise, you probably should leave now.
Yeah, spoiler alert from here on out.
The floor. Yes. We're getting ready to talk about the show.
I didn't even think about that. But, oh, that's so true.
Yeah.
Oh, good times.
Yeah.
So, yeah, picking up with this 7th episode, this is right on the heels of the Aldani job.
Spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
spoiler alert.
We're from here on out. Spoilers.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, Scott,
Spoilers.
you may want to vacate the premises. But yeah, this is now basically the reaction to the Aldani mission, where they fucking make off with millions of fucking credits,
Millions.
and shit's hitting the fan,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Nobody will notice.
Yeah.
Guess what? They noticed.
Oh yeah. And I'm just going down my notes now. Still love the fucking opening title sequence. It's so simple, but I fucking love it with that kind of false sunset into the rebel symbol with the Andor
Right.
titles and all that. I love it, and it's different music every time. I pay attention now every time it comes on, and it's different music every time that fucking title comes up.
I pay attention to it now too. It's just because I know you're paying attention to it. It's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, man, the soundtrack for this show, and we've already talked about it with some of these previous episodes, but I'm really digging it. It's so different, and this is how they got it right. Was they stopped trying to mimic John Williams, and they went in a completely different direction.
Oh my God, there's a pterodactyl in here.
Yeah, or a moth, whatever. But yeah, no, it's like a total departure from anything we've heard soundtrack wise, and I'm loving that fucking weird like 70s synth fucking.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that the part of the soundtrack that I really like is that I'm not paying it. I don't have to pay attention to it.
You
Like,
don't, but I
it's-
feel like it makes the show better.
Well,
if
no,
you do.
it absolutely does. And but it's not. Whereas with Rogue One, it was like kind of jarring,
right.
and because it was trying too hard to emulate, the master. Whereas now it's just like, okay, we're just gonna flow with what's going on the screen. And I don't have to. It's just doing what it's supposed to do. It's enhancing the scene.
Yeah.
It's not fucking music for music's sake.
Right. Yeah. And of course, we open up with fucking Cyril and his goddamn mom again. I'm like, it's so many times we go back to this guy's fucking house with his fucking nagging mom, and I'm like, why? Don't take this as a complaint, because I feel like they're going somewhere with this whole fucking Cyril Karn storyline, but we just haven't seen that yet. We're getting hints, especially as we get like into episode 9. We're starting to get hints as to where this character's fucking mind is, or where it's not. But we keep going back to this fucking house with his fucking mom, and it's like, my God. We get the point, but yeah, we get to him. And I think this is, this is when they're talking about now his mom's and his uncle who we keep hearing about, we never see.
Right.
But his uncle, who apparently has connections, got him a fucking job interview with the Bureau of Standards.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds like the perfect government job.
Yeah.
Here's your GS fucking 5 job. Sit here and fucking crunch numbers.
Yeah. So, but then we go to the ISB, which,
Man, can I tell you how much I fucking love the ISB?
yeah.
I know I had sent you a text I think earlier this week or last week.
I think it was Saturday night is when we were
and I
talking
was like,
about it.
dude, have you fucking watched this shit yet? And you hadn't. I'm like,
Okay, so that was earlier in the week.
like, man, I just what the ISB was doing, like, it reminds me so much of Legends. Because the ISB is doing what you would think the ISB is going to do, and they're executing it really, really well.
Yeah.
And I'm really, I want to see more. I'm like anxious to see, like, okay, how's this going to progress, and how is this, this climax going to happen? Right?
Ladies.
so smooth.
So smooth.
Yeah, and of course, longtime military guys too. There's a lot of familiarity here with this, especially with the intelligence community and everything, and that's something that I've been wrapped in for a majority of my career. Just so much of it is familiar, but I love the aesthetic of this fucking headquarters building. I love the sanitized white walls. I love how the Imperial symbol is engraved in like all the walls and the
Right.
doors, and like that hologram of the Imperial symbol in the front of the building.
Yep.
Just all of it. I want to live there. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I just want to live in your building.
Well, apparently he lives there. Cyril lives there. Oh, he hangs out there awful lot.
Right. Well, we'll talk about that when we get to episode 9. But yeah, I even wrote in my notes, I love this HQ. I want to live here. Exactly what I wrote in my notes. And they're basically talking about now the Empire's response to, Cyril Puffs. Yeah, he's always eating fucking cereal. He's
Yep.
always eating those fucking cereal puffs with
Right.
the fucking with the
She
milk.
makes
and-
food. She leaves it. She leaves it for him, and he just eats fucking cereal.
Yeah,
Like, fuck your food, woman.
yeah,
Like it's constantly any way that he can get at her.
yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, you look through my stuff. Like, oh, it's called cleaning.
Mm.
No, I have ways of telling that you fucking went through my shit.
So anyway, yeah, this guy who I don't think they even really said who he was. This new guy, not the other old guy who's been in charge in this conference room at the ISB. Some other new guy is walking around basically saying, "Yeah, we're fucking responding to this incident," and he's like, "I spoke to the Emperor last night," and
Yeah, he's like the next. He's like the next level guy. Like,
yeah,
he's the, you know, he struck me as like the undersecretary of whatever, right? So if you have, this, you have all these section heads, right? And they're working for the department head.
yeah,
And then the
he's
department head's working
reporting-
for the undersecretary, and the undersecretary works for the fucking, the secretary of, and then the secretary of works for the fucking emperor.
Yeah. And God, I would love to see some of these scenes where they're like telling Palpatine this stuff, and they're giving him his intel brief and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, I mean, Ian McDiarmid's still.
Why would why would Palpatine even need this brief? Like, do you think he would even need it? Like, I don't care.
Well,
Don't bore me with your briefings.
maybe, but I don't know. Something tells me we're gonna see him. If it's not like in the ISB stuff, it's at the Mothma's wine and cheese parties that we see every other scene. What I'm telling you, one of these days we're gonna be at one of these fucking wine and cheese parties, and Mon Mothma's gonna be walking around, and then there's Palpatine. This is some excellent cheese. The Gouda is strong with this party.
Oh God, you just wanted for a week to fucking use that line.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I like it.
Yeah, no, but I swear to God, he's gonna show up somewhere because like all of these people like have this, close.
I highly doubt that he's going to end up at her place, especially because she's one of the louder people against what he's doing.
Well, there's no fucking way he doesn't confront her at some point, like summon her to his fucking chamber and be like, "What the fuck? Why do you keep blocking my shit?"
Can you just not be a pain in my ass for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, please.
Would it be possible for you to just shut the fuck up
Right.
for 10 seconds?
What's that meme where it has I'm gonna go ahead and need you to shut the fuck up? Yeah, you could use it. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Anyway. Throwing you off of your fucking
Oh yeah, no, that's
shut the
fine.
fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Are you gonna keep doing that?
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my God.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Get it all out of your system now.
All right, I'm done.
All right, you're good. All right, so they're talking about this new public order, the public order resentencing directive.
Number 67.25.
Yeah,
0.25.
yeah, pretty much Order 67, where they're locking shit down, and we start to see the effects of this towards the end of the episode, where they're tightening their grip. They're
Yeah.
like, all right, motherfuckers, you want to fuck around? You're going to fuck around, and now you're going to find out.
Right.
Pull out the graph.
It's interesting. The tightening. The more you tighten your grip, right? Are they trying to insinuate that this heist is part of, like, even in Mon Mothma, she kind of insinuates to him, to what's his nut? It's Lex Luthor.
Luthen.
Insinuates to him that, like, hey, this, by you doing this, you've now made things worse. And he's like, look, it has to get worse. People
Right.
need to fucking suffer so that they join the cause. So is that, like, are we watching the incendiary of this fire?
Well, yeah, so are you saying like maybe that was the whole purpose of the Aldani raid, was to get
Right.
the Empire to fucking clamp down?
As much as it was for the money, but knowing that the audaciousness of the raid itself,
Yeah.
if you pull it off, like, not only do you get the fucking money, but you also fucking pissed them off to the point where they're gonna like, they're gonna just fucking strangle the shit out of everybody.
And if you listen to Luthen, it seems like that was the design.
Right.
That was part of the reason why they did that. And even Deidre, the blonde ISB agent, she knows it. Like she said at the end of this fucking scene, she's like, we're playing right into their hands. This is exactly what they want.
Right.
So she knows what's up.
Right.
And she's,
again, this is why I love the ISB stuff, because yes, when you're an underling and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm tasked to do my bit. I'm here at the fucking tactical level to fucking do my bit. And I'm looking up going like, I know the right answers, you fucking idiots. Like I tried to tell you, like, no, we need to do this, but no, you want to fucking, you had this agenda you want to follow. But here we go. Let's just let's just do it wrong, and then end up having to circle back and fucking do it right, even though you could have done it right in the first place.
yeah. And
Like that's, I mean, that may or may not have happened like half a dozen times
oh, sure. Yeah.
in our military careers.
Which is why, again, why I think you and I especially are like love these ISB and these internal, struggle scenes with the.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to go around this and I'm going to make this happen. And then when they call me out on it, I'm going to be like, yeah, I did that.
And here's why it was the right thing to do.
Yeah. And it worked out, didn't it? Yeah. You're welcome, fucker.
And then we move right into that scene that you mentioned where Mon Mothma goes to Luthen, because this is still, we're like right on the heels of the Aldani raid, and she goes in, and of course they're putting on a fucking show. Luthen doing his fucking wig, and it's, oh, Senator, and he's got the arm motions and the big smile on his face, and
I go back and she's returning this thing, and it's like, it's the whole bit.
Yeah, it's a whole show. But I mean, again, it's good though. Like, I like this shit because Mon Mothma knows that her fucking driver's working for the Empire. Like everybody's fucking watching her.
Isn't this amazing that they can do, like, this is some cloak and dagger stuff that we're seeing in Star Wars that we never, have we ever seen anything like this?
No,
in Star
never.
Wars?
That's why this is so intriguing.
Yeah, this is like some James Bond shit,
Yeah.
which you wouldn't know anything about, but there's some James Bond shit that you're seeing in Star Wars, and they're pulling it off.
Yeah.
They're pulling it off, and they're
it's-
making it intriguing.
Right. And even though we know where Mon Mothma eventually ends up,
Right.
like you can feel that grip tightening around her,
Right.
as she's fucking trapped. The fucking scene later on, I think it was in this episode. We're gonna get to Bix. Don't you worry there, Chris. But even in this episode, when she's talking to like her buddy from fucking Chandrila, and she sees her husband coming, she's like, "Don't fucking say anything. He cannot be trusted." Like she can't even trust her own fucking husband. Probably not her daughter either. In this whole fucking thing.
No,
So,
her husband's a fucking snake.
yeah,
Yeah, you could just tell.
I kind of like him though.
Do you?
Yeah.
No, fuck that dude. he's a dick.
Oh,
Kill it. Kill it.
it won't fucking
Do it.
hold still.
Do it.
Oh, he landed on the floor. He's dead. Good night. Sorry about that.
Did you do it?
He's dead.
Excellent.
But yeah, no, you can feel the tension in Mon Mothma's story. Like she's got all these people around her that if she fucking slips up just once, she's fucking done.
Right.
Especially with everything that she's kind of involved in.
Oh, she's spinning so many plates.
Yeah.
And trying to maintain this facade. It's just, God.
And I thought this whole scene, there's several scenes like through these 3 episodes that I think were just so masterfully done. And all it is dialogue. It's like 2 characters and dialogue. And they're done so well. They picked a really good group of actors and actresses for these fucking roles. And I think this scene where she goes and confronts Luthen, because she's still like not all in at this point. Where Luthen's like, we're fucking
Right.
balls deep. We're doing whatever we have to fucking do.
Yep.
And she's like, fuck, like, really? That was you?
Yes. Do we have to, like, yeah, there's the suddenness of the level of commitment now is like, I'm not saying that I think she was already all in, but now like when something like that happens, it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it's making
Like,
it a little too real.
Yeah, now it's like shit's really going on.
Yeah. So, yeah, I love that scene. And again, the whole facade that they're putting on while the driver's outside,
Right.
And while inside they're like fucking bickering about this. It's just so well done. Oh my God. We go to the scene where Karn Cyril is doing his interview for that bureau job.
Right.
And he's like going on and on. He's like, and I was, wrongfully accused, and I'm gonna do everything I can to clear my name, and blah, blah. And the guy's like, sir, this is a Wendy's.
Basically.
Yeah, it's like, there's your seat.
Right.
Go fucking work.
Yeah, you're gonna start today by go ahead and forgetting all that and doing this job right now.
Yeah, but like
Which he promptly doesn't do.
Yeah, I'm like, you need to dial it back there, Cyril, and of course
He doesn't.
no, not at all.
If anything, he makes it way worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you know what I think is a good idea? I think stalking an ISB agent's a good idea.
Yeah,
let's do that.
yeah. We'll see how that works for him, Cotton.
Yeah.
But we get a quick scene with Cinta where she's still on fucking Aldani. And she made it out, though. So somehow she fucking got out of the crowd after the heist.
Yeah, she had her imperial uniform on and fucking...
Yep, and then, as soon as we see her, we see, this fucking sweet-ass shot of a Star Destroyer going over the planet. It's like, the Empire's here now, so...
Yes. How do you announce your presence at a place? I don't know. Put a fucking Star Destroyer, not even in low Earth orbit. Actually in fucking at 5,000 feet on just holy shit.
Yeah, here we are.
Just fucking shake the shit out of everything underneath it. Yeah. Some TIE fighters flying in. Oh my God. Every time the TIE fighters, it's like, oh, Billy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, I even wrote sweet Star Destroyer shots.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
We go back to Coruscant.
Sidebar.
Go ahead.
There was this guy. He was in my office last week. He was up from another base, and he saw the TIE fighter on my desk. I have that TIE fighter up on my desk. It's
the Lego one.
Yeah, I forget what series number it is, but it's one of the more recent ones, and I can't not play with this cord.
Are you all right over there?
The cord is just in a weird spot, so I don't know what to do with my hands. So anyway, he saw the TIE, and I have that TIE fighter, and I have the canopy open, and it holds my name tag. So I have a Lego TIE fighter name tag holder basically on my desk. And he's like, oh, he's asking me about that build. I'm like, yeah, I like this build. It's a smaller TIE.
It's so smooth.
Right. But it's a really solid build. I really enjoy it. And it's cheaper too. It's like you can get it on Amazon for less than $40, right at $40.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about it, and again, this is random dude, some guy from another base who was supposed to be doing a site visit for something else, and he just completely gets derailed into the Star Wars conversation. He had he takes out his phone. He has the fucking Star Destroyer Lego.
The big one.
The big one.
Oh.
The 4-footer. And he had it all kitted up with the lights. And he had the lights all synced up to fucking music and everything.
Oh.
Holy fuck if it wasn't just absolutely erection inducing.
Ugh.
He's like, oh yeah, I was thinking about getting some TIE fighters to put around my Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, do you which one is it? Is it a UCS one? He's like, oh, I don't know. Here, why don't you take a look? And he holds up his fucking phone. I'm like, you could see the picture. It's all dark. He's got this black lighting with this. Oh my God, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Good shit.
He's probably got $1,200-$1,300 invested into that, but it was really nice.
Yeah,
it's nice. Anyway, Star Destroyers.
Yeah. Anyway, so we go back to Coruscant. Luthen's fucking lackey, that chick that's always in his thing that knows what's up. She goes and meets with Vel, who we haven't seen since the heist, who's we get our first hints at who she really is, as she's all fucking dolled up, looks nothing like the fucking homeless person that she was on Aldani. Now she's all cleaned up and made up and everything. But yeah, this Luthen's lackey meets up with her and is basically you need to kill Andor because he's the only loose end in this job. Because at the end of the day, Cassian is still not for the rebellion. He took his fucking money and he's like, I'm out. I did the fucking job for you. Goodbye.
Right. I'm not going to be an asset. I took the money and I ran.
Yeah.
And
So,
well, you know too much, so you need to die.
yeah. So now he's a liability. So now, in addition to being on the Empire shit list, he is also now on Luthen's hit list. So things aren't looking good for Cassian Andor all around.
Listen, I think Luthen didn't want to do it. Like, he didn't want to basically take out Andor. Like, that girl, his wife, whoever that broad is in the shop.
I don't know. They haven't really explained it.
She talked him into it.
Right.
So,
yeah, she's actually, now that you mention it, she's the one who also convinced him to like not fucking answer the radio.
right. Like to shut the whole station down.
Yeah.
And, like, basically get her fucking rolled up and
Yeah, so she's
taken out another one. So, I mean, she could be the station chief, you know, and he's just the fucking, you know, kind of like, you know what? Never mind.
yeah.
Never mind. I'm gonna stop talking.
Yeah, she could be more involved than we know.
Yes.
That's all, because
Yes.
they have not really talked much about her at all. Anyway, so yeah, now their job is to kill Andor, which Vel, to her credit, seems kind of like, really? Like, do we really need to do this? So like, she's not the hard ass who we were first introduced to when we got to Eldani. You know, she spent time with Andor, did the job with him, and
Right.
apparently likes him enough to not want to kill him.
Right.
But eventually,
Like, all she really wants to do is fucking settle down with her fucking partner.
well, yeah, she wants to get her scissor on while
Right.
while Cinta's like, no, the rebellion comes first.
Yes. And it's like, okay, but can we do this job and then settle down?
Yeah.
Like, can we just like do a family thing?
Yeah, no, Cinta's like,
She's not into that.
yeah, no, which really makes me wonder, like, how into the relationship is she if she's, you know, basically Vel's an afterthought for her.
You know what? Let's not get into the fucking the psychology of their relationship.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
I'm sure we'll get it wrong no matter what we say.
Yeah, probably. So after this, Cassian goes home. He goes back to his Morlana. Was that the planet? The one where him and Bix and all
I
them are
rely
from?
on you to keep track of all these fucking planets, man.
Well, even I'm like getting behind because I can't fucking remember. Chad, help us out. Is it Morlana? Is that the planet that Cassian originally started on, where Bix lives?
We need to get number one.
Number one. First he visits his mom and is like, all right, I made some money. We're getting the fuck out. Ferrix. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Talks to his mom. Oh, it's the Morlana system. Thank you, Dragon Buddy.
Yes, thank you, Dragon Buddy.
But that keeps throwing off my concentration. Yeah. So he goes, talks to his mom's like, we're getting the fuck out of here in the morning. Let me go check on Bix. Goes, climbs into Bix's fucking junkyard, has a little talk with her. Did not go well overall.
Right, which I was super fucking surprised at.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking, I kind of know how this is going to go. They're going to be like, this, I want you to stay. And like, no, I can't stay, but I can't. No, she was like, fuck off, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really gave him the cold shoulder.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. Like, again, this show surprising me a little bit with its choices in the writing.
Yep.
I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I can dig it.
And he left with things pretty cold. He fucking
Yeah.
threw a bunch of credits on. That's enough to pay off everybody. Peace out.
Yeah. Deuces.
Yeah.
That's
So
fucking awesome.
yeah. Go to another scene with him and his mom, and we start getting these flashbacks with his quote unquote dad, the guy that was with his mom when they picked up Cassian. On the planet, if you remember, going back to the first couple episodes,
Yeah.
when he was like a little fucking Lord of the Flies kid,
Right.
And they picked him up like, oh, I'll take one of those, and we'll they put him on their ship and took off. So the dad, and this was the scene with the fucking clone troopers that we saw in the trailer, right?
Right.
Where they got the Ferrix after the Empire became the Empire, and like you see this fucking squad of clones rolling down the street, and some locals are fucking like throwing fruit at him, like, fuck you. And Cassian's dad, whose name is Clem, which we just found out. It's like, oh, that kind of brings that full circle because that's
Right.
the name he was using
Right.
when he was doing the Aldani heist.
Right.
Like he goes to try to stop them. The fucking clones turn around.
Right.
It's that asshole right in the middle of the fucking
Clem.
yeah.
I didn't put that together.
Oh yeah.
I was this old when I was just now. You said that, I'm like, huh? Did I know that?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
Because yeah, he used the name Clem as
Right.
his like pseudonym on Aldani.
right.
And I'm like, that's a weird name.
Right.
And then when he's talking to his mom, she's like, and I know what I couldn't bear walking down the same street where they had Clem hanging, and it's like, oh,
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, it was
good,
his.
good shit.
it was his adopted dad. But yeah, clones turned around, probably blasted him, and then hung him in the streets. So, and then you saw another clip that we didn't get to see the end of, which we still haven't seen the end of, is Cassian walking down the street with Clem still fucking hanging there with like a fucking, I don't know, like a Molotov cocktail or something, like ready to fucking chuck it at the troopers. And then we never saw the resolution of that scene. So I'm assuming we'll get the rest of that flashback at some point.
Maybe.
But yeah, that was good. And then we had another phenomenal scene between Cassian and his mother the next morning as, you know, he's trying to get her to leave and she's like, no, I'm not going. And they have a really good back and forth about like the fucking rebellion and, you know, how like she's just too fucking old and, you know, she's going to fight where she is. And really, really good scene overall. And
Yeah.
just, again, I'm mesmerized by these performances. I'm like,
And this
so
is
well
another
done.
one where it's like, fuck yeah, this is surprising that she's just not going along with for the fucking ride. You know, signing your basically your death warrant, because if they like what happens when the ISB rolls into fucking town, you know they're just going to get rolled up, and he knows it.
Yeah.
Fucking Andor knows it, so it's like, fuck. All right, well, I guess goodbye.
Yeah.
Fucking question mark. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, so why did I come home again?
Right. Yeah. Because like everybody's giving him the cold shoulder. They're not going with him. And he's like,
Right.
well, fuck, I'm still going. I'm going to go to Planet Miami and
Right.
fucking, you know, hang out with this whore that I found.
Right.
And
Bro, he really needs to go to Planet Mexico and get the fuck out of the country.
right. But no, instead he decided to go to like
Right. Planet Miami so he can get fucking
that fucking
Locked up.
scene. Like, you know what I'm referring to when we go to the scene on that fucking planet and you see the fucking seagulls flying over the fucking beach and you got the like the fucking Jamaican music playing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah.
Is this Star Wars?
Yeah, it's Miami Vice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see people walking around? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting for our Testarossa to fucking come flying by.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's-
But it was funny though. It was very unique. Again, in a galaxy filled with millions of habitable planets, it's bound to happen.
Right.
You're bound to get a Miami somewhere.
yeah, and were we in the second episode yet?
This is the end of the first episode.
So the shower scene happens in
Yeah,
this
yeah,
episode?
Yep.
Yeah, where he's standing there in the shower fucking digging through her shit.
Is that her shit or is that his shit? I thought that was his stuff. I thought that was his like stash of credits and everything.
Maybe it was, but he's in the shower digging around through stuff, like, and they're having the back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is fucking brilliant. This is Bond shit. This is James Bond shit in fucking Andor.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that I'm shocked that we're getting this out of this show. I was not expecting it out of this show. I would have expected this out of something else.
Yeah.
Like, but I guess this makes sense, right? Because he's supposed to be the cloak and dagger spy kind of guy, and they're executing it well with this. And I'm just turn around and fucking get surprised every fucking time.
Yep. And really quick before we finish this up, right before this, we had another scene at the ISB where Deidre gets called out by the Blevin guy, the
Right.
guy that she's been like bickering with the whole time, and just another great fucking scene where he's trying to call her out, and that's the one where she's like, "Well, look, I fucking did all this. I used this new fucking protocol to get all this information, blah blah
Right.
blah." And the older guy's like, "Well done. You're off the fucking case.
Right.
She's on it. Give her access to everything." Or no, he's like, "Yeah, everybody can have access to anything they fucking need. Fuck these boundaries, these artificial boundaries that we've."
Yeah, we have this fucking take the locks off of everything. And,
Yeah.
and so we can get this shit done.
Yeah, and it was all because of her and what she did.
Meanwhile, homie was just trying to fucking, get his career in order and to stop her.
Yep.
And that's all it was. It was just he was pandering to his own fucking career.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she's, out there fucking with her nose to the ground trying to get the shit done.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I fucking thought it was great.
Yeah, another fantastic scene. If you watch this whole scene all the way through too, there's some points with her and the lead guy where she kind of snaps back at him and he's like, "Sir," and but he knows she's fucking right.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, he still tells her after this scene, like, "Fucking, you better watch your back."
Yeah, dude. So one of the things that I appreciate about the like ISB like setup is you have the person that's sitting in the chair at the table, right? Mm-hmm. Then you have the people standing behind those people. Yep. Like we've been those people,
right?
We're the people standing behind, like, oh, we have all the information. Like, how many times have we sat in a room as a subject matter expert so that the person sitting at the table can turn around and fucking have us answer the question?
Oh yeah,
right. And that's it. We're supposed to be standing there following along with everything, and so that when the time comes, we can interject with the appropriate thing.
Yep.
And that's the expectation of being in the room.
And again, that's why I identify so closely with these ISB scenes.
Yeah, I would like ISB is just creeping into my fucking TIE fighter fantasy.
Yeah,
just crazy.
Yep. So anyway, back to Planet Miami. Cassian's shacked up with a hooker, and then he basically gets arrested for nothing. Yeah, like he's literally walking down the street. Fucking stormtroopers like, "What are you looking at? Arrest him!" And then we get some of the security droids roll up.
Right. The KTSO fucking,
Not K2SO, though.
Right.
And he fucking grabs Cassian by the throat and hang. And,
another opportunity for this writing to go like, oh, okay, well, this is how he's going to interact with this ISB droid.
And that's what I was thinking, too.
I'm like, this is how he's going to escape, and he's going to have now K2SO as his thing. No, he's going to jail.
Yeah, for 6 years.
He's going to federal pound me in the ass prison, where the floor is lava, apparently.
Right. Pound me in the ass, floor is lava prison.
Yep.
For 6 years. For nothing.
For fucking nothing.
But this is all part of that clamping down of the Empire, the new security protocols.
Yeah.
In response to Aldani. They're like, oh, you want to play, motherfuckers?
And how, like, as we get into this next episode, how engaged. I never thought I could be so engaged with the fucking prison sequence.
Yeah.
Right? That's not the Great Escape.
Right.
Because it's not, these guys aren't digging tunnels. They're not like, this is just them fucking. Well, we get a little sequence where Andor's fucking, scraping around at something, but really it's just them working.
Yeah.
For these sequences, and you kind of get it, right? They're working towards something.
Sure. Yeah.
As opposed to the stuff that's going on, and we'll get to that here in a sec.
But yeah, and I've closed this episode off with in my notes, like, I want this soundtrack. I got to check Apple Music and see if it's up, but I want the whole fucking Andor soundtrack because it's wild, it's crazy. There's some like weird out of tune fucking organ sequences, and it all sounds great in the context of the show.
Right.
And I fucking love it. Oh, and the last actual scene of this fucking episode is goddamn Cyril Karn again. And it's him in his actual workspace, and it's this wide shot of that fucking workspace, and it's just all those little fucking, they're not cubicles, they're sphericals. But yeah, all of his little circles.
Yep.
And that's it. That's the end of the episode. So, Apple Music?
Apple Music.
Sweet. Throwing that on my playlist tonight.
Lossless.
All right. We're ready to move into the next episode?
Yes.
All right. Episode 8, Narkina 5. And it starts off with Cassian is being processed. He got his 6-year sentence, and now they're directing people to their different transports, and he gets Narkina 5. And throughout this whole episode, you can tell he's kind of in fucking shock because like all this has happened so fast, and you got to wonder, like, was this a matter of hours from the time that he got fucking rolled up to the time he got put in front of the fucking judge to now where he's like being taken to a shuttle.
Yeah, these motherfuckers are super fucking efficient.
Yeah.
They just are. It's like, yeah, you're processing in, like, who are you? This fucking clown, whatever. Oh, you're being a pissant? 6 months? Nah, 6 years. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Right into the fucking prison colony with you.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, shit's moving fast. And then we go to fucking Cyril again. He's sitting in his little spherical doing his fucking work, and the Imperials roll in. And they're like, that's him. And they roll him up and take him to the ISB headquarters where he gets interrogated by our girl Deidre. So now these two are coming together.
It's harder than it looks, isn't it?
Yeah, because I'm looking at the screen and not my actual fingers.
It's scary that I'm good at that. Yeah, look at that. Oh, I missed that time. Boop. Although he wants it to be like this.
Right.
Meanwhile, she's like
stonewalls him. Yeah. We get another scene where we're at the ISB headquarters, and now they're like Deidre's starting to brief all these connections that she's making with the fucking rebel purchases and everything, and now they've got a name for Luthen's character. He's referred to as the buyer in Bix's world, but now they call him Axis. Now Axis is the code name for this guy who's pulling all the strings in this alleged rebellion that Deidre thinks that she's found all these connections to. So she briefs that during this whole scene. Andor gets to the fucking labor prison. They demonstrate the fucking, the shocks and everything that they would get.
Yep. You might be wondering how come we don't have fucking weapons. Well, this is why.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking pretty wild.
On program.
Yep. And yeah, this is when we're introduced to Andy Serkis, aka Gollum, aka fucking the voice of Snoke.
Right.
He's done everything. Like, he's done so much shit in all of the popular culture. He's like he was fucking Alfred in the last Batman movie. He's fucking
it's true.
He was a minor character in the fucking Marvel movies. He's done a lot. He's done a lot. This guy's probably fucking rolling in it. So, but now he's one of the laborers, but he's the guy in charge of the floor.
Right.
So
this is yeah, no, never mind. Yeah. There was a term for it and I quickly lost it.
Yeah, but he's basically the foreman.
Damn it.
He's a prisoner, but he's also kind of acting as the floor foreman.
Yeah, there's a term for it.
Yeah, because the Imperials don't actually come down to the floor where of this factory where they're working. And again, super sterile environment, like very sterile environment, like the white walls, the white floors, everything. Like everything is like.
Do you think when they were doing the interior of this that it was based a little bit off of fucking THX?
Oh, it has to be, like at least a little bit, because you get the kind of same feeling with that. Yeah, there's probably a little bit of inspiration there, but it's also an offshoot of the Imperial aesthetic as it is.
Well, yeah, this is true.
Like, the clean, fucking just uniform, stale look of everything.
Ain't nobody dope as me.
Yeah, which
just
I mean,
so fresh and clean.
Yeah, which I don't know.
So fresh and so clean.
Okay.
God damn it, Jesus.
Is that an old commercial?
No, it's a song.
All right.
Jesus.
Anyway, so between all of this, like the fucking interrogation of Cyril by Deidre, fucking Andor getting to prison and like going through that whole indoctrination, we've also got more wine and cheese parties with the Mothmas.
Right.
It's like constant. It's like, holy shit.
It's showing the stark contrast in the lives and what's happening right now with the people that are making the decisions about the rebellion and the people that were enacting the rebellion.
Yep.
Here's the ups and the downs of it.
Mm-hmm.
Did we? I wanted to. Oh, fuck! I lost it again. Damn it, Dave.
This is why you should write shit down.
I know, right? No, it was with Cyril in the ISB. Oh, in the interrogation, right? So he says, like, he gave the report, and she's asking him questions about the report.
Oh, and that he's never seen it.
Yeah, and he's never actually seen the report, and she's like, give him the report, right, so that he could actually see the stuff. I had a point to make with that, and then I don't know what it was.
Well, because there's that one scene where she's like, well, you fucking signed it. And he's like, they made me sign it,
right?
But I never got to read it. She gets him a copy of the report, leaves him there, comes back, and then he's reading, and he's like all this fucking shit's missing. Like, all these fucking pretty important details were left out of all of this. Right. So that's when he starts filling her in on, Andor and the guy he was with and all that stuff.
The guy he was with. That sounds provocative.
Yeah, I wrote in here that like Andor just seems like he's in shock when he gets to the floor and he's watching, he's watching them assemble these parts. Now, okay, here's the thing. Any idea what they were actually fucking assembling?
No.
Okay, because
so originally, what I thought they were assembling, again, in my brain, the narrative was, all right, let's make this connection with KTOSO, right? So I thought they were building droids. Right. Originally. But then I looked and it's like this uniformity in the part. Like it's some sort of like a cross section of something.
Right. At first I'm thinking, wait, is that like the apex of a TIE fighter wing? But it's like the way it's bent and everything, it's like, no, that's not right.
No.
So, but it's got to be something that we've seen already. And I don't know, people online may have already figured it out.
And they're making so many of them. They're just nonstop pumping those out. So it makes me think that they're either parts for Star Destroyers or for the fucking, it could be, very well be for the fucking, for the Death Star.
Dragon Buddy says they were TIE fighter parts. So, I mean,
really?
I don't know if we have any verification of that, but I mean, I'd believe it. I believe it's something like that because they're mass producing these fucking things. And we know the Empire fleet is fucking huge. Like think about the number of TIE fighters that probably exist in the military fleet at this time. Thousands.
Yeah. And
thousands. And, with them constantly increasing the size of the military, you know that they need more and more. So,
I love it. You gotta love Google. I start typing, what are they making? And then the first thing that pops up, in Andor prison.
It's the Skynet. I mean, it knows. It knows everything. It's just biding its time, that's all.
So screenrant.com,
which they're a bullshit website, but go ahead.
Yeah, it is bullshit. They're saying, oh God, you know what? I can't.
It's one of those things where they have to give you like the fucking history of Star Wars, and then like the last fucking paragraph is like, oh, and then they were building this thing that was this part of a TIE fighter. Yeah, I hate how articles do that.
Apparently, there's a handful of people that are saying they're parts for probe droids, but again, I don't. Yeah, I feel like they're too heavy duty for that.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's a probe droid piece. I would agree. All right, so it's not set in stone as to what they are right now.
Oh, let's see what the Redditors have to say.
We're doing it live, folks.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
Fuck it. I love the echo in the studio when he says that. We're doing it live. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it.
Well, Dragon Buddy says it's confirmed all over as TIE fighter parts for the wings. See, that's what I said.
But where is it confirmed? I just did a search on it. None of it says, not a single one of those said TIE fighter parts.
Well, okay, then he did an addendum, but no real confirmation.
For fuck's sake. Anyway, let's move on.
All right, moving on from this.
I'll get out my manual, my TIE fighter fucking Haynes manual, and I'll see if I can find that part.
Okay.
And we'll settle this.
Yeah, we'll put this to rest.
Yeah, I'll put it on the Discord server.
Yeah. So going back to one of the Mothma's wine and cheese parties, they give us a little bit of background about Mon Mothma and her husband, saying that they both moved to fucking Coruscant when they were 16, and how they had been married a year prior, which apparently on fucking Chandra-La, it's all about arranged marriages when they're like in their fucking teens. So it's like, okay, I mean, that's not unheard of here on Earth.
And honestly, like you think about it, Naboo, right, where they were like they're prepping their politicians, real young too.
Yeah, grooming.
Yeah, grooming. Yes. They were grooming. They were doing other things too, apparently. Yeah. If you know what I mean.
But yeah, no. So we found out that they were an arranged marriage. So the lack of any intimacy, liking each other, all of that now has a bit of an explanation as to why they seem to be in quite the loveless marriage. And they're constantly, and it's not like they're ever bickering. It's real like backhanded shots at each other. Or just like looks and like the way they're more cold with each other than anything, but it's not like fighting. Like
I mean, honestly, this is probably a super realistic look at how it would be if you have a super, like a super high up politician or celebrity figure that is constantly needing to be other places than in the family.
Yeah.
And they're going to neglect the rest of the family if they're not also in the public light, and they don't want to be.
Yeah.
Like obviously the daughter, like the dude,
she's constantly, can I get the fuck out of here?
yeah, the dude is like, yeah, I want to hang out with my friends and shit.
Yeah, who are her political opponents.
Right. He doesn't want to be made a spectacle of necessarily, but he wants to enjoy himself.
Mm-hmm.
And for her, everything that she's doing is a spectacle. Everything,
Right.
Because everything has some sort of play politically, and I think what you're seeing is a very, I feel like this is a realistic look into that life.
Yeah, I buy it.
Like, hey, interview one of the royals about, what it would be like. Seriously,
Yeah.
and be somebody that's trying to live a normal life with somebody with that level of, fame or influence or importance.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. We go back to the fucking planet Ferrix, where we got a scene with our girl Bix talking to the big guy, Cassian's other friend,
Right.
And you've got sitting across from them, kind of like staring them down, the fucking lesbians, right? Because they get there to Ferrix because they remember they're there to kill Andor.
They're at the coffee shop,
right? And this is where Vel's like trying to get her scissor on,
Right.
And homegirl's like, no, like I'm just gonna stay here by myself. It's gonna like cause too much attention or put too much attention on us if we stay here together. There was a great line that was dropped in this conversation that like was kind of a throwaway line for me when I watched it, but then going back and then seeing where Vel's character goes, I'm like, oh, that was smart. So Vel's asking Cinta, like, all right, well, what's your cover story going to be? She's like, I'll say I'm a rich girl who's running away from her family. And Vel's like, that's cold, even for you. And at the time, I'm like, okay, that's a weird line. Until we find out who Vel actually is, and it's like,
Right.
oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was brutal. That was a shot right across the fucking jaw.
Yeah.
Is what that was.
Well, I mean, honestly, you kind of already had that impression that she was obviously trying to prove herself, and
Which, because remember, at least I had the theory that she was Luthen's daughter. Like, that's where I was thinking she was coming from. But, we found out later what her true origins were. And then, of course, we get the shot because, again, they're eyeballing Bix because they're looking for Andor and they know she's his friend. And there's the scene where she's fucking walking away and she's got that tight ass shirt on. And her tits are like exploding out of this tight ass shirt and she's walking away. And you see that both of the lesbians like glaring at her as she's walking away. I'm like, they both want to hit that.
Yeah.
You can tell.
This is acting genius.
Yeah. But I mean, who wouldn't?
Number one.
Forever.
Ever.
But anyway, Bix then goes from there and tries to use the radio to call up Luthen again.
Right.
To Noah Vel. That's when we get the scene where his lackey girl, whatever part she plays, is like, no, we got to shut the shit down. So she convinces him to like fucking kill that radio for good, apparently.
Yep.
So Bix doesn't get an answer. Sad face.
Yep. And this is the beginning of her
demise.
Yeah, this is the beginning of her torture.
Yeah. Because, it was right after this is where she gets fucking rolled up by the Empire.
Right.
I was thinking that in the last episode, when Cassian gets back to Ferrix, I'm like, why hasn't the Empire rolled in and fucking, like, captured everybody and started interrogating everybody that knows fucking Cassian because they know he was involved with the thing, but I guess they hadn't made the connection with him and Aldani at that point.
Well, and look, they had fucking DTS vouchers to file. Like, oh shit, we got to do our fucking.
Oh yeah, do our travel vouchers.
Yeah, we got to get our authorizations. You know, and then like because they show up and it's like, oh, we're gonna use this hotel as our fucking staging
and
point.
if I don't fucking submit a zero balance receipt,
right,
my finance office is gonna yell at me and they're not gonna approve my DTS.
Exactly. So and is this like, am I using commercial travel or are we fucking like all this shit has to get worked out? You know, there's this huge logistics effort involved in this. So yeah, I totally believe it. You know, this takes time. So by the time they got there, yeah, of course he's gone.
Yep. And then of course, Luthen leaves Coruscant and goes and visits Saw fucking Gerrera.
Right.
One of my least favorite people in the world. He was not as annoying in this as he is in Rogue One. He's not quite to that level of fucking lost his goddamn mind.
Right.
He's getting there though. You see hints of it.
Right.
In this, but it was actually a pretty decent scene with him and Luthen, where they were Luthen was trying to get him to join a bigger.
Right. This is like, all right, bring your people in to fight with our people type deal.
Yeah.
You know, let's.
Yeah, it's like, I'll give you all these toys. I'll give you all this shiny stuff.
Right.
Just come play with our people. And he's like, no, get the fuck out.
Yeah, basically. Like, yeah, no, I don't like what you're selling.
Yeah.
So get the fuck out.
It was a funny back and forth when he first got there, and they're each trying to like figure out like who it was that did the Aldani thing, and they're like, I think it was you. No, I think it was you, and it was a funny little back and forth there.
No, I agree with you. The Saw Gerrera, it made sense to go there. Like when he got there, it was like, okay, this doesn't seem so out of place. Like this is, you know, you got rolling a guy that's already got fucking freedom fighters and bandits. You know, he's already kind of working an angle. So let's get him on board so that we have a little bit more muscle working on something. And and Saw's like, no, I don't think we're both working for the same thing. You know, and I don't know. I guess I think there's an element to this that I haven't necessarily fully grasped that the show is like alluding to with how the rebellion is really starting. Like we're getting, it's, you know, they're lighting this fuse, right? This is kind of how now the Empire is starting and everything else, or the Empire is starting to clamp down on everything and, you know, getting to people, inciting these riots and everything else. But how they're going to get to the next level, like exponentially get to the next level, I can't figure out.
Right, because at this point they're not like an organized like a have a central spot where they all meet and everything else. We haven't gotten to Yavin yet at this point.
Where's Harris and Dula? You know, where, like, because this is all taking place at the same time, right? Because they're ostensibly working another angle of this rebellion effort.
Yeah, and then, you know, there's also that fucking group from Solo, the Enfys Nest, that whole little thing, and they're like a little mini anti-imperial faction. So you've got these spots that have all been popping up throughout canon, and you know they haven't come together yet. So you got to wonder, like, are we going to eventually get to that point where, you know, we get to Yavin and now that's where everybody's fucking meeting as part of this whole fucking rebellion, and we are not starting over because of the escape pods here. Sorry, guys. But yeah, this episode closed out with Deidre showing up to interrogate Bix. They drag her into the fucking room with the dude that was like running the shop where she made the radio calls.
Right.
He's all fucked up. They drag him out, drag Bix in, and
and it was a great little bit of like this interrogation showmanship, right?
Yep.
Where it's like, okay, leave him in the room, and then they drag her in, and what's her nuts? Deidre goes like, "No, what are you doing? Get him out of here! Get him out of here!" Right?
Yeah,
like,
nice little show that they put on.
Yeah, exactly. So it's that fucking Bix could see him get dragged out and how fucked up he was.
Yeah.
These interrogation things, you know, you pick out we have a very unique perspective on how to pick some of this stuff out.
Indeed, we do.
And that was definitely a callback to something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Very well executed.
Oh yeah.
I think for a Star Wars show that has no business, they've had no business doing any of it to this point. So they're doing it really well.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they're getting their fucking information from, but somebody's on the other side saying like, oh yeah, this is let's do it this way.
Yeah, they've got some good advisors, or
Yeah.
what do you call them? Consultants.
Consultants, yes.
Yeah, they've got some good consultants who were giving them
I
some
wonder
good
if that's
intel.
a lucrative business. Should we go? We should go into that.
Probably.
We could be consultants.
Probably. You know, it'd be a balance. You know, we have to be like, all right, we can't give away any like fucking classified shit. But what kind of like inner workings of a fucking military organization can we talk about?
Our stuff will be declassified in like 2080.
Yeah.
You know, how old will we be?
104?
Okay, so we'll be older.
Yeah.
Put our heads in jars.
Yeah.
Oh, so sidebar. Speaking of heads in jars, did I tell you about my father-in-law's fucking Halloween costume?
No.
Oh man. So he asked me if I wanted to bring it to the show and wear it, but it's just too monsters. It's just too monstrous. He built this whole rig. Actually, you know, I'll show you a picture of it. So he built this whole rig that it basically holds up an alien head, right? And over his head is a jar. So it looks like the alien is holding his head in a jar.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, dude, it was brilliantly done.
I've seen some of the ones that they're like an alien on your back, and it looks like the alien is like grabbing you. And
yeah, this is with his head in a jar, and it's funny because it made me think of the, the stuff that Wally did with you with the, your head in the jar. Which I don't know. Did I ever make that stuff public?
I don't think so.
I should probably do that.
I'm trying to remember like what that even was. My head in a jar?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I have no memory of this.
This is not the best picture of it, but
Oh God, and it's the actual alien from Mars Attacks.
right.
Oh, I don't have it queued up right now.
Yeah.
That's
What it is.
fucking
He's like,
great.
"What? Do you want to bring it? And you can do the thing and with the
That is really well
yeah,
done.
he did a great job on that. So, yeah, he asked me if I wanted to bring it. I'm like, nah, it's just too much.
Yeah.
It'd be too much. So, but
good
yeah,
stuff.
he did a great job on that. Anyway,
So episode 7,
how do we get there? Heads in jars?
yeah,
What?
the interrogation. We were going to be consultants.
Yeah, right. Speaking of heads in jars,
So they drag Bix into the room, close the door, end of the episode.
right?
So we roll into the last episode. Nobody's Listening, episode 9.
Right.
And we get right back into it with fucking Bix and Deidre, and I'm just like, I was really starting to like Deidre up to this point too. Deidre and the whole ISB, but I'm like, if you fucking hurt my Bix, then
she's
then you
not
and I-
going to.
Well,
but fucking homeboy is.
Oh, and that was the weirdest fucking thing too. She's like, she's walking around being her fucking intense,
Right.
intimidating self, and she's like, and with me here is Dr. Favreau, and he's like,
Hi,
yeah, I'm like, what was
hi, I'm a crazy person.
yeah, he like turns it away. He's like, hey,
Hi, it's me.
like,
I'm
oh,
just a little
that's so
crazy.
fucking weird.
Yeah, yeah. Like I enjoy torturing people.
Yeah.
Like that would be the worst. Can you imagine? Like you're sitting in that room and the person's all fucking chipper.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're getting ready to fucking. Are you gonna torture me now?
Yeah.
And you're all fucking chipper about
Yeah,
it.
it's
Like, oh
Jesus
god.
Christ. Yeah. So yeah, we go along with that where it's a whole thing with like fucking noises of these specific aliens dying and all this stuff,
Right.
and that basically is enough to drive a human insane if they are forced to listen to it.
Right.
And they forced her to listen to it.
Yep. And
How dare you,
yep.
fucking ISB?
Yeah. They infiltrated her mind.
They got to my Bix, and I am very upset.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
She's a mess.
So we can only pray
She's an absolute mess.
that she can recover from this atrocity.
Yeah. One can only
That's-
hope.
That's the only way I'll forgive the ISB is if
Right.
Bix is somehow able to recover.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's ISP has to. They have to get information.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, I guess. But
It's either waterboarding or it's fucking, the sounds of the whale song for fucking.
You're finding Nemo.
Yeah, it's like, no, make it stop! Oh my god, make it stop!
We go back to Cassian on the assembly line, and it's been, I think it was like 30 days. They call them shifts. Each day is a shift, right? And it's been 30 shifts, and now he's like getting into the groove. They're fucking like doing their thing.
He's working the torque wrenches and fucking clear, hands clear. Like it's a whole thing.
But then like the old guy, because they had this like super old guy on their fucking team who's like only got like 30 shifts left before he's free, is clearly having some issues. So now they're having to adjust to overcome for those, and that's going to become relevant later in the episode.
Right.
And then we flash to a scene with Mon Mothma now on the Senate floor trying to fight this fucking, bill that's, doing the whole tightening of the security and all that. And like she's getting like fucking heckled. They're like, boo! Get off the stage, you bitch!
Yeah.
Boo! Boo on you, man! Yeah. Or they're just like turning
sucking every fucking
or
galaxy.
They're like turning off their fucking lights at their little station.
Yep.
And she's like sitting there trying to like plead her case, and they're just like,
keep
fuck
talking,
you.
Just gonna keep talking.
Yeah.
Politics.
And then like clearly though it's taking a toll on her, because you can see she's just like defeated when she gets into the fucking car after that.
Right.
And then the driver is like, oh, your cousin's here, and she's like, oh, okay. Go to her house.
Right.
Who's her cousin?
I don't know her name. Val. Yeah. It's just that broad.
Yeah.
They're what I thought was good was it kind of caught her off guard with the cousin.
Oh yeah.
Like, so it was. It made me think, like, is this really her cousin? Like, or is this a code word? Like, what was it like that she had to react and recover about it? So, and then when we saw it, like, okay, there's obviously some familiar connection there.
Yeah.
So maybe it is her cousin. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's what threw her off so much. It's like, oh shit, this is like.
Well, I think she alluded to it later, was the fact that she hadn't seen her in 6 months. Because remember, Vel was like entrenched in fucking Aldani for 6 months, to get ready for that fucking job.
Yeah, she was.
Yes, she was entrenched in a lot of things. That was good.
Hopefully the microphone picked that up.
Yeah, hopefully the thing picked it there. This is what you signed up for, people.
That's the sound it would make, right?
Yeah, oh, I'm sure. It was a little too accurate, I think. It hit too close to home.
I don't know. We need subject matter experts on this.
Indeed, ladies, let us know. Fuck. So yeah, no. Come to find out, Vel is her cousin, and that explained the whole fucking rich girl running away from her family comment an episode earlier, and it's like, oh. And then of course later on, we're at another fucking dinner party, and Mon Mothma's husband made a comment to Vel about how she needs to fucking find a husband. The only husband she's gonna find now is like a fucking single parent because of her age and all this. I'm like, God damn, man.
Yeah.
You're fucking just laying into her, but
and she's all like, yeah, that's
yeah,
you're right. Yeah, what am I gonna do?
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, this is why I love doing this. Yeah, and finally we get to we go back to the ISB, and Deidre has made that connection of Andor to Aldani with the interrogations and everything else, and she's kind of presenting her case. Mentions how they've got like full on surveillance on his mom, because I was wondering like, why the fuck haven't they like pulled his mom out of the fucking house and like beat the fuck out of her and gotten some information?
Just leave her as bait.
Yeah, and she's old too. She's like, last time we saw her, she was like sick and like having trouble breathing. So it's like, okay, that makes sense. Then we go back to the fucking prison, and now like shit's going on, like, because we didn't mention it before, but like some of the prisoners are like communicating like fucking sign language to the other guys in the fucking tube way the fuck yonder,
which is really funny. So a relevant sidebar. Back in back in high school when I was on the swim team, one of our practices, we didn't have a pool, so we would have to go to like the local YMCA's to practice. So one of those facilities was at the Camden YMCA, right? And beautiful Camden, New Jersey, right there close to the riverfront.
Yeah, lovely that time of year.
All times a year.
Yeah.
So you'd pull up, and it's right across the prison facility that's right there in Center City, Camden. It's like the county prison.
Sure.
And it's a multi-story building. It's like I don't know, like 12-story building maybe. And down on the fence line, kind of around the yard, you'd see all these people, and they'd all be signing up to the windows to people like in the windows. So they were like, not like ASL, I guess it was their own sign language, or maybe it was ASL, I don't know. But they were legitimately signing to people that were in the prison,
right?
Like to communicate to each other.
Huh.
And you'd see them, they would all be down there fucking signing and carrying on like normal conversations with people up in the prison. So seeing this, 100% accurate.
Oh yeah, or maybe like you get rolled into a prison camp and you're instructed to draw a 5x5 box that starts with A. And,
well, that too.
So there's it. Basically, it just goes to show that in captivity, people find ways to communicate.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, yeah. So they're signing back and forth, and they come to find out like everybody on level 2 is fucking dead. It's
yeah.
Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, because they heard something. They heard something was going on.
Yeah, and like they weren't letting them through their fucking tube for a while. They were like holding them in the tube,
and then the power went out.
Yep.
Right. Come to find out that the power went out because they fried so many people. It must have been a huge power drain.
Yeah.
Homer Simpson fucking let's just kick on more.
Yeah. We need more power, Captain.
Kick some more neutrons in this fusion reactor.
Yep. But yeah, so a lot of shit going on there. Like we're really kind of skipping over a lot of what's going on in the prison, but if you've seen it, then you know it's like it's crazy. And the whole time Cassian's like trying to talk to the Andy Serkis character, like trying to be like, "Hey, how many guards are on each floor? Have you guys thought about trying to escape?" Blah blah blah. And they're like, "Nope. Fuck it. I got, 200 days left. I ain't fucking this up." And they're all just kind of like, "No, we're not fucking."
Well, and I think he has people around him that he knows would go along with it, and that's kind of where, like, when the new guy came to the floor and he's kind of talking to other people and they're saying, "Hey, you notice that this is the procedure when they come down. This is when we could do this, and with this elevator and things like that."
But it's relevant that the Andy Serkis character at this point is still like giving that shit the Heisman, like,
right? It's just hard over. Like, stop talking like that. It's not going to be good for you at the end.
Right. But that's going to change at the end of this episode. So then, we go to I even wrote in my notes, for fuck's sake, Cyril and his mom again. We get another fucking scene where she's like sitting there berating him. This is the one where she was like going through his shit.
Right.
Right. And I'm just like, my God, I really hope that this whole storyline is leading to something. And I hope it's not just like he fucking snaps, murders his fucking mom, and then goes and tries to murder Deidre.
But, I mean... that could throw mama from the train.
Yeah,
like,
maybe. But then, we get that scene where he's fucking stalking Deidre, where he's like waiting outside the ISB headquarters, and he fucking eventually, like, haha.
Like, and she's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, exactly.
Like, she has a genuine look on her face, like, "What the fuck is this guy doing here?"
Yeah. And, he's like, he's fucking crazy at this point. He's like, and I saw when I talked to you that security is alive and well, and the spirit of the empire and all this. Right. And she's like, you need to calm the fuck down,
right?
And just go back about your life, fucking forget about me, and leave me the fuck alone, basically, or I'll have your ass arrested. And all the while he's like, yes, I can see it.
I will do it.
I have a reason for living now. Yes. It's like, Jesus Christ. He already looked crazy. He's got fucking crazy eyes to begin with. Now he seems like he's fucking over the edge. Like this dude is.
He's Crispin Glover crazy.
Yeah, he's fucking. He's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
every fucking day. Maybe if he wasn't eating, maybe it's all the sugar.
That could be
from
all that cereal.
Yeah. Cyril eating cereal.
Andy's cuckoo
for Cocoa Puffs.
It's all coming together.
It is. It is for the release of the Cereal Puffs and coming to you this holiday season.
Yeah, and it's watch out, fucking Deidre. He's gonna like catch you and fucking rape you or something.
Yeah,
so.
he's gonna put you in a cage. Puts the lotion on.
Yeah, lower a basket to have you fucking put lotion on and put the lotion on the fucking basket. Then we go back to the prison. The old man fucking kicks the bucket. He fucking dies.
Well, he has a stroke.
Right.
He has this massive stroke.
Yeah, he's done though.
Yeah, and so so they get this medic that shows up, and he's a real prick, and Cassian's trying to talk to him like, what happened on fucking this level? And the dude's like, you don't fucking know? Like, I'm not fucking telling you, right? And then he basically euthanizes the fucking old man. Yeah, because he's stroked out. He's like, he's getting out easy. Because none of us are gonna fucking live through this, we're all gonna die. And then Andy Serkis is like, "What happened on that fucking level?" And then at that point, he knows that you're 200. There's no 200 shifts. Yeah, you're here until you're done, and then they're gonna execute you and fucking turn you into Soylent Green probably. Yeah, after you're good and roasted.
Yeah, and it basically, from what the story he tells, is essentially somebody from level 4 was supposed to get released, but they just moved him up to level 2 and get back to work. And I guess that got around, and then everybody on level 2 fucking freaked out, started to protest, and and you're all done.
Yeah, how did they think that wasn't going to happen in a prison where that they're going to fucking they're communicating with each other? Haven't they this is prison camp 101 for God's sakes.
Yeah. Well, and Andor made a good point when he's like, they're not listening to us.
Well, this is true.
They don't fucking care. They're fat, dumb, and happy doing what they're doing. We're here in captivity. They're not paying that close of attention. We're insignificant.
Right. The floor is lava. That's all they know. And it's super effective. I mean, you got to give it to them. This is pretty well thought out fucking jail concept. Yeah. Way more thought out than the fucking I've told you about the paper I wrote when I was in college.
I don't think so.
So let's go on this little journey.
Sure.
So I was this is after high school. I was in community college for a criminal justice degree, right? And I was in an administration and justice class, and we had to write a paper. It was about the prison system, and it was come up with an effective means of, utilization of the prisoners in the prison system for self-sustainment, shit like that.
Sure.
So I wrote a paper. I shouldn't be proud of this, but I really am. So I wrote a paper that was basically, said you have this basically self-contained prison system that the prisoners would. This is satire, by the way. Before people lose their fucking minds, right? That you'd have the prisoners and they'd be on treadmills, right? And the treadmills would be used to produce power, and they would be encouraged to keep walking on the treadmills because they'd be walking over a pit of alligators. Now, if they decided they weren't going to walk anymore, then the fucking treadmill would take them and fucking feed the alligators. So that would thereby feed the alligators, and then at some point the alligators would become food, and then you'd recycle that, and you could sell the leather and do whatever. So you'd minimize that because some people just aren't going to do it. They're going to get tired or do whatever. So you just have this constant rotation of prisoners feeding the alligators, and then vice versa. I got an A on this paper. I got the dude. Again, it was satire, right? And this is for an administration and justice class, but the guy he was a prison guard at Rahway Prison, which is up in North Jersey, and he was the dude. He was a prison guard in the maximum security area, and he was the coach of the powerlifting team, because apparently in the fucking life, in the death row, they had a powerlifting team. So you had these giant monsters that are fucking on death row lifting, all this heavy shit, and they could literally like they could put their thumbs into the fucking handcuffs and like and open handcuffs up. Oh yeah, dude.
Wow.
Bend quarters with their fucking just go
Jesus
bend
Christ.
quarters like that. Yeah, dude. He said these people were fucking insane. Wow. And this dude, he was fucking giant. So he tells us all these stories, and he made us write this paper. I'm like, okay, wrote the paper, had all appropriate words, and was formatted correctly. I got an A. So,
Man.
yeah, that's prison reform.
That's fucking hilarious. Oh, good
So
shit.
almost as good as the floor is lava.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so they get the word that all this shit happened on level 2, and before Andy Serkis can like start raising the alarm, Cassian's like, no, don't fucking say anything. Act normal, because if they don't know that we know, then
Right.
we can kind of start fucking planning, because now at this point you can tell Andy Serkis is like gone from the guy's like, I got 200 days left, fuck you and your like great escape. Now he's like, okay,
This is the only way I'm going to get out of here alive.
Yeah.
Is to participate in your great escape.
yep. So
Like, there's never more than 15, I think is what he says, or
Yep.
12.
yeah, he starts giving that information finally.
Right.
So yeah, that's yeah, that was good, and that's kind of where the episode ended. Crazy, not part of a story trilogy this time around. So it feels like we're just like going full steam ahead through the end of the season at this point, which we have 3 episodes left. Super fucking dark, but goddamn, like I enjoyed every bit of these 3 episodes.
Yeah.
But maybe I could have used a little less of Cyril and his mother, but I'm just going to assume that that's going somewhere important.
It's funny listening to me. I would imagine, whenever a year ago, even when this was coming on the radar and saying how much I was going to be fucking annoyed by this show. Excuse me. Why does that taste like? That tasted like peppermint patty, and I haven't had one.
Oh, that's weird.
That's very weird.
Huh. All right.
Anyway, so fast forward to now, when now I'm like, I can't wait till Wednesday so I can watch the next fucking episode.
It's amazing, like,
Yeah,
because
I'm into this. I'm into the show right now.
yeah, because we were all lukewarm
Yeah.
about this show going forward, because it's like, who gives a shit about a Cassian Andor backstory? Like, what the fuck? Well, you know what? They've done a fucking masterful job at making us care, and whoever's writing this, fucking
Yeah.
Kudos.
Agreed.
yeah,
I'm enjoying it. There's very little about this show that I can complain about.
yeah.
And if there is stuff for me to complain about, I just haven't found it yet. Now I haven't watched these ad nauseum. Like, I watch them and enjoy them, and then we talk about it.
Yeah.
So, I'm not watching them 5-6 times to like really start nitpicking at stuff, but I don't want to nitpick it. I want to watch the next episode, and I want to see where the story's going to go.
And that's the sign of a well-produced show.
And which is ironic, because we know how this story goes, right?
Yeah.
It's the amount of suspense they're able to generate when we know what's going to happen in a couple of years.
Yeah,
with
where
this timeline.
Yeah, where we know, like 10 years from now, I think it is, because I think this is 10
I thought this was
10 ABY or 10 BBY.
I think it was 5 BBY.
Okay, either way, it's years before. So, and we know at some point, Andor and Mon Mothma end up on fucking Yavin.
5 BBY.
So we know that that's eventually where they get, but they've done such a good job of making this so fucking intriguing.
Yeah.
And a lot of it really is also around these side characters where we have no idea where their story's going. Like, what's going to happen to Luthen? What's going to happen to Vel? What's going to happen to Cyril? What's going to happen to Bix?
Right.
Deidre, fucking whack job boy. Like, where's all this going? So
I can picture fucking Crispin Glover character like basically stealing an ISB uniform and fucking pretending he's an ISB agent and just to infiltrate there just to be closer to her, right? And just
get himself killed in the process.
Yeah, just doing something stupid. Just be like, I need to be with you, and then she goes like karate chop, and fucking takes him out. You dumb motherfucker! Yeah,
Fucking warned you, asshole, and now you will die.
you will die.
Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah,
That's
that's so good.
yeah.
If you're not watching this show, you should be, and you probably have not gotten to this part of the podcast.
I would imagine not. Yeah. If you haven't watched the show and you're still watching us right now, what the fuck is wrong with you?
All right, entertain people while I pee.
Entertain us. All right. Well, why don't we just take a break? We're gonna take a break.
then.
We're gonna take a break because I need to pee also, and we need to handle some business. So we're gonna take a very quick break and be right back after this very quick word from our sponsors. All right. Had to do that officially, you know. Anyway, so let me see. Yes, Rick and Morty, I know, I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna get there someday. Someday I will watch Rick and Morty. When? I don't know, but I'll get there. Leave me alone. I'm too busy enjoying Andor. And something you have to remember, too. I have to watch every episode twice. So that really cuts into my free time. Oh my god, I would love it if one week Luna Girl did all of Dave's notes in all caps and he had to shout the whole thing. That would be pretty hilarious. No, because I have a security clearance and I would like to keep it. The AF download story. I'm not sure what that is. Backyard TARDIS's daughter plays Love. What's that?
The moon is shining bright up there.
Oh, I'll take a peek, see, as I'm taking a pee-pee.
The stars at night are big and bright. Deep in Jason's butthole.
Why?
Because I hate Texas. What's wrong with us? Where do we begin? What are we doing? I don't know what we're doing. I should probably be doing this. I should probably be prepping Miss Lopez for her reads, because that's what we do here at the, I was about to say All Things Star Wars podcast, the Sidebar Cantina. Oh Lordy. Yes, so how is everyone? Hope everyone's doing well. Never mind the weird sounds that are happening right now. Gotta make sure that.
All right. Ready to get back to it?
I guess.
All right. Well, as soon as you're ready, give me a countdown and we'll get rolling.
He's something.
What?
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 Banners, brand, that.
And we're back. So, that is it for Andor. Next week, we are talking about the Star Wars 2020 comic series. So, the ones that came out at the same time as the Vader that we talked about a couple weeks ago. We're now covering the Star Wars core comic. If we've already decided that if it sucks, if we have a distaste for it, we won't continue it. I know the Vader story has some more interesting things that we want to talk about. And Yeah, so Star Wars comics next week. If you would like to read those before the episode, you can get Marvel Unlimited, $10 a month. You can read all of the Marvel comics ever that have been out for longer than 3 months and read to your heart's content. Bronco Fed in the chat asked what we thought of the new Christmas Story trailer. Did you watch that?
No.
The Christmas Story Christmas trailer, the sequel to A Christmas Story. It did not look good. They brought back like the original Ralphie actor and a bunch of other original actors, but it just, I don't think it looks that good.
I'll have to watch it. Some things you just don't need. Mm-hmm. You just don't need to do. That's one of them.
Yeah.
You just don't need to do it. I hope that he makes some money off of it. I really do.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I loved A Christmas Story.
Oh, yeah. Fucking phenomenal movie. I watch it every year.
Every year. But no.
It harkens back to a different time.
It does.
You know.
It does. And it's so like it's TBS is playing it 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the whole, you get the marathoning of it, and I don't know, and I can't watch it the same now that I know that fucking Ralphie was there when the Challenger exploded. Like,
oh, that's right, because we saw that in that fucking documentary.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally forgot.
It changes my perspective of him as a kid. Like, that kid.
Yeah.
'Cause he wasn't much older than that.
No.
When he was there, and just God.
Yeah, fucking crazy. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Anyway, Train. So I guess we've just got nothing but the reads left, right?
Yes.
All right. Miss Lopez.
Yes.
Miss Lopez, you coming out this week?
Yes.
Okay, you all right? Oh, hello. You okay? You not feeling well?
I'm sad.
You're sad?
Oh, I'm sad.
Why are you sad? Is it because of Nick Carter or Aaron Carter, whichever Carter that died yesterday?
No.
No?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Who died?
Like one of the Backstreet Boys?
What?
Yeah.
He wasn't one of the Backstreet Boys.
I thought he was.
Aaron Carter?
Or a brother of one of the I don't know. I don't give a fuck.
Look that up. There's no way that Aaron Carter was one of the Backstreet Boys. He was like 34.
You understand the Backstreet Boys were big like 14 years ago, right? No. 24 years ago.
Right. So he was 10 years old? He was 34. Jason, do some math.
Well, for somebody who doesn't know who he was, you certainly know
Well,
how
I
old
can
he
read.
was.
It was on the fucking the pop-ups on my phone. Not that I give a shit. I mean, rest in peace. Sorry, family and whatnot, but I don't give a shit.
Oh, hot off the presses, TMZ says they found cans of compressed air at his death scene. Because I got high. Because I got high.
Because I got high.
All right, anyway, enough about him.
That's not good. Don't you judge kids.
Yeah.
It's coming from the guy who gets up at 4:20. That's just,
It's there's no nefarious
right. There's no connection at all.
All right, do you have a read for us today?
I'm sure I do. I'm
starting to regret bringing you out here today.
Yeah, you usually do. I don't know why you do it. Because every time.
Well, apparently, you're popular with our listeners and our viewers.
You just enjoy being abused. That's what it is. You enjoy having a woman abuse you. Tell me I'm wrong.
Are you going to finish the reads or what?
Oh, okay. Hang on. I over-scrolled. That's a real thing.
Sure.
Okay, Red 5 News! After our show, head over to the live chat of After the Weekend, which is the technically Monday is after the weekend.
Correct.
Which, hence, it's appropriate. It's an appropriate name for a show.
I mean, was somebody saying that it wasn't an appropriate name?
I don't know. I just thought of it.
Okay.
Dick.
You don't have to spew all of your thoughts out. You can just keep them in your head.
Well, you see, that's not how this works, Jason.
All right.
That's not how my mind works. It's like a laser. Where the crew and special guest Canolia Sasquatch from the Salty Nerd will be reviewing 1990 movie Tremors. That was 1990? Holy
Jesus,
shit.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Yeah. The Red 5 Network has 38.
3 weeks later.
I was on the wrong tab.
The night time is the right time. The
I'm
night time
37?
plus 1. The night time is the right time.
Whoops.
Way to throw me off, Jason.
I know.
Red 5 Network has 38.
I'm 37?
Plus 1 podcasts. Red 5 Gaming is currently closed for construction as it is being revamped by Extra Techie. Good. Can you know what? Oh, never mind. Go to biodelinc/red5. That's biodelinc/red5. So check out all 38
I'm
podcasts
37?
plus 1 in the network. Cantina Family Happenings. Why is it so hard this week?
That's what she said.
Ah, no, not for you, Mr. PP Soft.
Where did that come from?
Oh, you sent me the meme. It says PP Soft.
Oh, yeah.
See, it's a throwback to the meme you sent me.
Well, you mean
nobody
the one
else-
I sent Dave, not you.
Well, I mean, it's...
Stop looking at Dave's phone.
Well, he leaves it in the back. I get
That's
bored.
what she said?
I get bored, Jason.
All right.
It's fucking boring back there.
All right.
I can only look at the pops for so long.
All right. Well, I mean, as long as Dave's fine with that. But
Well, I don't think he has a choice.
yeah, that's true. All right.
Cantina Family Happenings. The Use and Abuse podcast. Well, no, it just says Used and Abused. We'll be discussing Star Wars. Wow, talking. Hey,
Well, you know what they need to discuss? They need to discuss how they finally watched Andor. That's what they need to discuss. Whoa.
yeah, that was deep. That was deep, wasn't it? Oh.
This is going some weird places today.
The Used and Abused will be discussing. No, read it. The Used and Abused will discussing Star Wars Tales of the Jedi episodes 4 to 6 tomorrow night.
Oh, so they broke it up. Very good.
Join Scott and Kim at 1700 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lunar Girl, it's Eastern Standard Time.
In retrospect, when Dave gets back,
YouTube and enjoy.
yeah, I'll probably tell him that I think we probably should have split it up when we did it. I think trying to cram all 6 into one episode was probably a mistake. So Scott and Kim are doing it right. So that's all. That's just me thinking out loud.
Okay,
Sidebar.
you done?
Yes, go ahead.
A booth in the back, we're reviewing our week 9 of our fantasy football matchups from this past weekend. I think Dave there sucked ass again this week.
Yeah, I think Dragon Buddy's gonna have my number after tonight.
Join Dr. the Snooch, Brady Big Lovin' and Lunar Girl Wednesday at 1800 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live. We didn't even talk about the fucking the atrocity that is the Eastern the daylight time scene.
Well, because this was the good one, so this wasn't as bad as.
yeah, but we shouldn't be doing it.
Well, yeah, and I thought that it was in the process of being taken away, but
Yeah,
who the
so
fuck
did I.
knows?
Didn't they have like some mandate or something?
Yeah, but it was like it wasn't set in stone. It's the whole fucking thing. Well,
They need to just get rid of it. It's so stupid.
trust me, I agree. And
It's
David and
fucking
I,
stupid.
yeah, we've been talking about this for years,
Yeah.
and trust me, I am ready to be done with it for good.
My car radio, it's like it's never right. I'm always either one ahead or one behind. It's
Well, if you
so
don't,
fucking annoying.
if you don't ever change it, then it'll always be right half the year.
Yeah, but that's dumb. You're constantly doing math.
I guess. I mean,
We know how good you are at math, Jason.
plus and minus 1 is not difficult.
What, is it?
It's not difficult.
Okay.
But yes, we should get rid of daylight savings for fuck's
Yes.
sake.
Fuck daylight savings. Sign a petition. Vote tomorrow. What were we talking about? Okay. Booth in the back, we're reviewing our Week 9 fantasy football matchups from this past weekend. Joined Dr. Snooch, Brady Big Lovin', and Lunar Girl Wednesday at 1800 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. live exclusively to Sidebar Cantina group on Facebook. Grab a beer, take off your pants, and don't miss the show. I keep missing the show. I keep missing it. I like the shit going on.
Yeah.
I need to watch the replay.
Yeah, Wednesdays are very busy for me.
Yeah, god damn it. Anyway, also on Wednesday, ATSW The Escape Pod will be discussing Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, the new movie's finally out.
Yeah, with possibly... Wait, hang on. With possibly a special guest. We're gonna love it anyway. No, you're gonna love it either way. I don't know what that... You're gonna... If whether it has a special guest or not, I guess.
Probably.
Okay. You're gonna love it either way. Chocolate favorite kisses.
I was gonna say, are we on to a new single here?
Ah, that's gonna hum it out. You're gonna love it either way. Tune in at 19:05, 7:05 Eastern Standard Time for all the hilarious antics of Don Della Snooch and Brady Big Lovin' with Dragon Buddy. ATSW The Escape Pod. Da-da-da.
I think they have their new theme song.
Here we go. We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Stranger Things has happened. We'll be hosting a mid-season live stream on Friday, reading, which we'll have named the Hawkins Hangout. What?
I'm assuming somebody's name is Hawkins.
Yeah, sure. The Hawkins Hangout. Don Della Snooch and Lunar Girl will be hosting Madame Chantal and Salacious Rum for Stranger Things talk and shenanigans. Wait a minute. Please join how much Stranger Things has happened on Friday, 1900, 7 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. I thought Chantal was taking a break this week.
That's what I recall her saying.
Yeah, she said that in the chat. Is she lying?
Maybe her definition of a week is different from ours.
I think she's avoiding. You know what? We should make her sing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to. Your punishment is you have to sing.
That means we'd have to bring her back on the show.
On air. Live. Layman's terms released Evil Dead and Army of Darkness plus Friday the 13th part 7. Be sure to subscribe and ding that bell and select all to receive notifications for your source of ignorance and drunken banter.
Is it in the notes for you to sing that? Or
Nope.
You're just doing it yourself?
Nope,
Okay.
just doing it live.
All right, you've got music in your soul, as Supergirl said in the chat.
The Orange and Fred Show dropped episode 57. Boise State versus BYU. Fuck BYU.
Is that in the title, or was that your own commentary?
No, that was me adding.
Okay.
On Saturday, subscribe to them on Spotify and be notified of upcoming releases. I'm sure they have beautifully lovely things to say about all the BYU fans. But probably not. Because they don't get along.
Yeah.
They don't. Because they suck.
Yeah, for as long as we've known Bronco Fett, we've known about his distaste for all things BYU.
Yeah, they kind of bring it on themselves, the BYU people, because they're not good people. I saw the tweet. That's bullshit.
I don't know what you're referring to.
It's bullshit.
Sure.
It's bullshit, Jason.
Okay, whatever.
Say it.
It's bullshit. God. You're so mean to me.
You can find us. Jeez. So sensitive. You can find us at bio.link/the sidebar cantina. I just realized I could see my reflection in the iPad. Like, wee, look at the iPad. Look at my googly eyes. Squirrel. Bio.link/the sidebar cantina, where you will find our links to YouTube, audio, Patreon, our latest Spotify music mixtape, and all our social media platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, and Discord, and TikTok. Also, in our bio link is our public merch shop. We have t-shirts and hoodies in a wide variety of sizes, designs, and colors. There are sidebar cantina tote bags, food cases, exclusive stickers, and pins. Just about anything you can imagine. This week, Luna Girl will be adding some new designs to the mix, so because she's burned out last week, when she was supposed to, stay tuned for details.
I'm curious to see what these new designs are.
Reviews!
No new reviews this week.
Motherfucker!
I know. We may have to like hold JLo hostage again until we get some new reviews.
Son of a bitch.
I know.
You don't know how bad this upsets me.
I'm sure it does.
My feelings are so hurt right now. I can't even go on. But I will.
Yeah.
Because I'm a professional.
Yes, clearly you are.
I'm a Jason! Don't make me come over there.
I would prefer you not.
I will enter your airspace.
It would make me feel very uncomfortable.
I know. That's why I do it.
I know.
I know. Come on, Jason. Oh, gotta get in there. Gotta get in there, Jason.
you got this.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Jesus Christ.
Please rate us a 5-star review on Apple.
Oh my god.
Don't have an Apple account? Our Facebook page has a review feature too. Use it. Just screenshot your review before you hit done. And DM us the pic on Instagram. Maybe I'm being too nice. Maybe I just need to be fucking like, look, bitches. DM us the pic on Instagram or Twitter. Tell us what you love or even hate about the show. Jennifer Lopez. That's me. I'm like that the torture guy in the show. Like,
Right there. Hey.
hi, I'm the torture guy. Ha ha ha. Look at my googly eyes. I'm gonna torture you now with this voice. Or Hank or Edith or Mama or someone with just fun will read your reviews word for word on our next episode. Plus, Lunar Girl will send you swag. It's hot in here, Jason.
It is. It's getting really hot.
Yeah. So take off all your clothes. No, you know what? No, don't do that. Keep them on.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
Everyone will be afraid.
that. Indeed.
We'll,
As they should be.
We'll lose subscribers.
Probably.
Yes.
It's all right. I'll just eat something on camera and we'll get them all
Oh,
right back.
the mukbanging! Oh, yes, you should do that. We haven't mukbanged in a while.
Well, I still need to bring some tacos for you one of these weeks.
Oh, tacos.
I know, and have you eat them live on the air.
Oh,
That
yeah,
would be
yeah, it was good.
that would be an experience.
I'll eat some tacos. Right, Jason, listen to this.
Jesus Christ.
Chocolate favorite kisses.
Are you done?
Does my face look like a butthole? Look at it, Jason.
Oh, God. What's wrong with you? All right, are you done?
The best part is that nobody else can see it but you. This is just show
I know.
just for you.
I know. I have to look right at you this whole time. Oh, God.
All right. With that, bye, everyone.
All right, goodbye, Miss Lopez. Oh my God, what have I done to deserve this? All right, so we talked about next week.
I'm glad you had a good time with Miss Lopez again.
I don't know what this is doing to me, but this can't be good for my mental health.
Your mental health,
Right?
yeah.
So yeah, I think that's it though. I think we're pretty much done.
Yeah.
So, what do we do now?
We sign off
Oh, okay.
because we've been going for 2.5 hours.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching or listening, however you consume us. And
Oh, we need glasses. Write that down. That's what? How is that going to help us if it's written there?
you didn't say where to write it down. I didn't have a.
Do I need to get her back in here?
No, for God's sakes, no. Trust me, I'll remember. All right. Until next time, Dave and everybody else, may the force be with
Made
you.
a worse video.
That was good.
Okay, now what do I click?
I had a feeling it was going to be her.
Yeah, it's tough to get another voice out with a half hour of that.
Yeah. Oh man, well, that was another classic.
Oh boy.
Okay, don't. No, you can't.
Are you sure?
You can't do it when she's not here. I can't.
See, now you know how Kathy feels, though.
Right.
Like, this, just picture that in the dark. Not that, but like,
you start doing something like this in the dark, and then switch it to
Something like this.
Yeah.
Do it for Mama.
No. Oh God. Okay. All right. I think we're done. Yeah. It was fun though.
bye, everyone.
Yeah.
We're hot. My glasses are all fogged up.
Yep.
It's warm in here.
It's time to say goodnight. Plus, it's after 8 o'clock. So
Time to say goodnight.
we'll see you guys next week. We love you.